Welcome to Leon's common law Zoom number 2.
Hello, guys. How's it going?
Okay, so I was just getting ready to tell them
Cameron, how you
about
doing?
this. Okay, so I'm sitting there. I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but John posted today on the channel about Charlie Ward and the Insiders Club. Okay, the Insiders Club, right? I was a part of that like 3 years ago, I think was. But anyway, it's $15 a month to be in the Insiders Club. Okay.
Mm,
Now back then, I think he had close to 2,000 members at that point in time. I don't know what it is now. Probably 10,000. I don't know.
more than that, yeah.
Yeah, probably. No, this is just for the Insiders Club. So you have to pay that subscription. It's not just on Rumble or whatever. This is like a special club, and it's twice a week. It's Wednesdays and Sundays, right? So, and it's like for an hour. So $15 per person. It's 2,000 people in 1 month. That's $30,000 1 month.
Conservative estimate. Conservative estimate, yeah.
Right. That's not including any products he sells or anything else that he's doing. Any
Yeah,
time
like
he
buying me
shows up to
coffee or
the
whatever. People
the
just give you.
conferences, the truth tours, and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. Just the Insiders Club, which he has to do nothing but show up for 1 hour twice a week.
Yeah.
$30,000 a month for
Yeah.
1 year. $360,000. So more than $250,000 just for the Insiders Club. What's he doing with all that money?
Yeah. Why aren't the trollers trolling him?
Yeah,
They're all paid, aren't they?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Crazy. It's crazy.
I did the math on it today, and I was like, no, what? This was 3 years
Yeah.
ago when he only had like
Yeah.
2,000
Well, that
members.
that Gene Decode, he raised in 430 million plus, or $480 million. That was like a couple of years ago. He'd already done that. Whether he's been replaced or not, I don't know. Probably. I mean, no one's ever seen him, so he's probably just a
No,
scammer.
no one's ever seen him.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, he had good information about the dumbs to start with. That's why he,
Yes.
he flagged up with me because no one else had that info.
No.
It was only really him that had the dumb info, and
Mm-hmm.
that all turned out to be good. It turned out to be real because you could
Mm-hmm.
verify it. So I think maybe that the White Hats gave him a chance, and I reckon he fucked it up pretty quick. And
Yes.
yeah, because he was all
Yeah. Some of
heliocentric.
them got sort of like the thing, like Charlie Freak had that really good video. That certain had their moments to do good things, and then after that,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That isn't that what Christian said. They gave him an opportunity, but
gave him a bit of
once you
rope.
start making money off of humanity, that's it. You don't get any more. You're done.
That's
You're
it.
cut
Yeah,
off.
like everyone else. Yeah, you cut off from that
Mm-hmm.
moment onwards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
they ain't worth a bolt.
That's correct.
Yeah. I think that Charlie Freak wasn't he? I don't know if this is right or not, but wasn't he a Satanist or something? I thought his stuff
Something,
was all
yeah.
great. And Christian said when I first met him, that Charlie Freak's all right. And I'm like, yeah, I thought so because he does really good. That breakdown he done Fall of the Cabal breakdown A to Z. He done
Yeah.
that, and that was
Mm-hmm.
good. That was fucking
Yeah. It
brilliant.
was
But
really
then,
good. I know one was like,
yeah,
holy crap, this is good.
I remember I saw a thing with Charlie Ward. This was 3 or 4 years ago. They'd obviously fell out with him for some reason, and no one was saying why. And then I saw that Mahoney and Charlie Ward discussing that he's a Satanist, and I thought, do you know what he might be?
Wow.
Because it seems that fucking everybody else is. It wouldn't surprise me. Someone with a lot of followers that like what's his name, Nino
Right.
Rodriguez. He's
Yeah.
probably moving,
Same.
isn't he?
Same. Yep.
Yeah, you don't get that
Well,
famous, do you?
but Nino was a boxer.
He was yeah,
He
Yeah,
was a professional boxer before he started truth touring.
truthing.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So how did he get to do that? You know,
That's it. Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was apparently pretty good, I guess. So yeah,
Well,
nuts, right?
or not, as the case may be.
I just couldn't believe that. Like I just did the math on it. I don't know why I never did the math on it before, but when I saw John's post today, I was like, oh, Insiders Club, $15 a month. Because
Yeah,
when you think it's just you paying $15 a month, it's not a big deal.
yeah,
But then you think about how many people are paying
yeah.
$15 a month.
Did you
Yeah.
notice that Charlie Ward, for years and years, I was his like 67th subscriber when this first happened. COVID had only just been announced,
Mm-hmm.
or round about the moment it was announced, or just before, or just after. And then all of a sudden, very quickly, he had 18 million and 17. And it
Mm-hmm.
stayed at 18 million and 17 for
Yes.
like 2 years. And it's
Yes.
like, hang on, what's with that number? Why
Yeah.
18 million and 17? There's got to be
Yeah.
some significance in that.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Unless his
significance
website
in it.
counter packed up,
Mm.
it said the same for a long time.
Yeah. I know.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
What's
and it's
going
funny
on
that
there?
people have got to pay in. You ain't only got to want your own demise, but you can actually pay a lot of money a month to have bullshit fed to you, so
Right.
that you believe that your own demise is a good idea.
Right.
You
But
know what I mean?
no, it's
Yeah.
not. But see, the thing is that they don't think that it's their demise. They think this is the way
No.
that they're going to get, because they need information. Nobody else, they're not getting information from the news, right?
Right.
So where are they going to get their
No.
information from?
Totally.
Well, these fake
Totally.
truthers have sold out humanity to do this.
Right.
And
And it's
make
not too far out
millions.
for them. It's just sort of enough to, it's sort of a little
Keep 'em
sort
at
of
a halt.
stepping stone. Yeah,
It's
keep 'em
enough
at
to
a
keep
halt.
them at a halt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, douchebags. Sorry. Same with like 107 and like how much money does he rake in? No one's ever seen him either. You see
Yeah,
his
He's
he's
like
like the
boots.
7 different
ringleader.
people play him. He's like 7 different people or something. It's just a pair of boots, isn't he? That's all he
It's a
is.
pair of
And an
boots.
Aston Martin. Pair
Yeah.
of boots and a dashboard of an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Talking all sorts of shit.
Well,
And then you've got people like that Kerry Cassidy going, oh no, I know that 107 is definitely JFK Jr. And they're all in it together. They're all full of shit, bullshit CIA, aren't they?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all lying in it together.
Yeah.
Literally lying and lying.
Yeah.
Carla
Yeah.
says, how do I put my hand up on an iPad?
Oh.
Anybody?
I think you have to touch the screen, and on the bottom it comes up once you touch the screen, and it'll say
Yeah.
reactions or something, or raise hand or something like that. It'll have on there. Or
Yeah.
it could be like dots, and then click on the dots. It'll be like bringing up a menu icon that'll have it in there. The
Oh,
toolbar,
I think
maybe.
she got it. Yeah, she got
Okay,
it.
there
Yeah.
you go. All right, good.
All right. You want me to bring in Susie?
Yeah, you guys raise your hand if you have any questions. You want to talk to Leon about your situation, or
Hey, Susie.
Oh, hello. Hi, Leon.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you for all your great information and everything. I've never done this before. I've got a little query about tax. I'll explain my situation.
Yeah.
I live in Spain.
Yep.
So I paid my tax in Spain because I don't want to get kicked out.
Yep.
But
You
I've
know what they're
also
like in
got,
Spain.
yes, exactly. But I've also got a flat in England which I rent out.
Yeah.
And the tax people told me that I had to account for my tax there.
Yep.
So I thought this year, sod it, we're not going to be here, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do. So far, my fines are totaling £1,300,
That's all right.
and the next year is coming up.
Mm.
Also, I noticed that the letters they write to me, they're not in uppercase. So
They're not they're not enough. Oh, that don't matter. That doesn't matter. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes I've had speeding tickets that are in block capitals, and sometimes I've had just the surname or just the surname in block capitals. Sometimes, but that's a small point. It's just
All right.
another thing that helps, but it doesn't matter because that's all fraudulent anyway. So tax is unlawful. All tax, income tax, all of it, the whole fucking lot's unlawful.
Yeah.
And I've got a really good success story from a police officer in England he was a copper. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. For 26 years at that point, he still is now, and he owed the tax man 60 grand for a side business I think that he had in like 2014 or 15 or something like that. So in 2018, the taxman wanted 60 grand off him, and he's a policeman, actually a policeman, a common law expert and a serving police officer. And they didn't really like him too much, the police, so they never progressed him much over the years because he had different opinions. He was like, even before I'd even heard of common law, he weren't enforcing act, statutes and policies, and they didn't like that. They wanted him out earning. So they gave him a desk job, but he's a bit of an expert in common law now. But he wrote to the tax man. It took him, I think, 3 letters over 5 years. Yeah, and in 2020, 3 letters over 2 years. 2018, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20 letters. Sorry, 3 letters over 3 years. Basically, 1 letter a year. It's a very small amount of letters. The tax man wrote back to him about the 60 grand because he said, I've got the letter. I did say the other week that I'll find it because I haven't got electronic copy. I've only got a physical copy, but I could type out a better one myself, but I could just put that one up without his name on it. He wouldn't mind. But basically, that letter was good enough because he said, "Listen, I'm a police officer. You're asking me to break the law. I've looked into it. To pay tax is actually fraud, is unlawful. So I can't, because I've sworn an oath. Yeah, to be a police constable, I can't break the law, can I? So you need to prove to me that that is actually a lawful decision," and they couldn't do it. So after like 3 years, they wrote to him and said, "Listen, just bugger off. We've closed your account. Don't contact us again." They didn't want the aggro because it was getting embarrassing for him because he was a police officer and he's pushing back against HMRC. So yeah, sorry. If you've got bills,
if you were me, you wouldn't do a return.
No. That's joinder. So if I was you, definitely, I would get the last. When's your next one coming up? Is it coming up soon?
Well, I'm due to pay for up to last April by next January.
Oh right, well,
and it's a total ball ache, to be honest, because you know when Spain is January to December.
Yeah, if you've got a letter from them that says, like, for them what you already owe, not what you're going to owe in a minute. If you've got that 1,800, I think you said it was just now. If you've got a letter that says, "Hi Susie, whatever, you owe us this amount," turn that into a promissory note, send it back to them. That's paid then. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, they can't refuse it
because I've been agonising over this about what to do.
Don't worry about it.
It's not even the money; it's just the whole, as I say, ball ache about it all. Really,
it's ball ache. Yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely, and I know it being in Spain, you've got a load of bureaucracy that normal people wouldn't have anywhere else on the planet.
Exactly.
That's for sure. Yeah. So, but I wouldn't worry about that because once they've got a promissory note is cash. Cash is a promissory note. Lord Denning decreed in 1969 on October the 10th. 1969, in the case of Fielding and Platt versus Salim Najjar, that a promissory note is cash and cash is a promissory note. So whether you pay with a £5 note or a lot of £5 notes or one bit of paper that says that that is now money, that's money. That's basically what it means. And to refuse it is unlawful. So they can refuse it, which is as good as them accepting it. If they accept it, brilliant. It's a win for the White Hats because the White Hats are in charge of all of it now. There's no 33rd degree Freemasons in charge of anything. So when you're pushing back right now and the minions, the sub-level minions are opening letters and going, "No, we don't agree with that." This is how they hang themselves now in the end game. So all of the people that are just doing their job and they're going to carry on because all that's all fraud. So anyone carrying on doing that now, they've seen the empty offices, they've heard about COVID, they know there's something going on because there's no one about in the empty offices, and they can carry on creating fraud, or they can smell a rat and wash their hands of it and say nothing and process it. Because the line managers, not the person maybe opening the letter, the person that might be replying to you to say, "Sorry, we don't accept a promissory note," that's probably just a cashier. They don't know anything about it. And probably, yeah, you're right. All right, fair enough, you don't. But now let me have your line manager or someone whoever is above you, because guaranteed fact they know all about it. 1,000,000% they know all about it. But they can't tell the people below them because it's not it's not cricket.
They want everybody
they can't tell them people about it because then everyone will be doing it. That's when you get to the 33rd degree Freemasonic glue. So all the bank managers and all the they're all 33rd degree Freemasons, or they're all 29th degree. You wouldn't get a bank manager that's like 18th degree. He hasn't earned it yet. He's got to be in the fold, under the wing, and controllable to be a bank manager. A school head teacher. It's the same with every industry. It's the same with everything. It's always got 33rd degree Freemasons or sold souls in control of it, whatever it is, whether it's sport, media, finance, industry, knitting, game shows. It's always a 33rd degree Freemason or a sold soul.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of got all this, but I was just getting a little bit anxious about what to do and whether.
Don't worry about it.
I can't even, get online because they need 2 forms of identification, and I've only got one. So then you have to send off for a code, and the code takes ages to arrive. And by the time it arrives,
don't worry about all that bollocks. Yeah, that's all a pain in the arse. All that is, and it's all joinder. All that.
Yes.
If they've sent you a letter, if you've got a letter that, or you could ring them up and just say, or email them and say, "Listen, do us a favour. I'm going to be out of the country." Because make an excuse that you can't use your email. Can you send me a postal How much do I owe you in the post? I ain't going to be able to check my email for 2 months, going away for Christmas. Any old bullshit, so that they write to you and say, look, this is what you owe us in January altogether, and then just turn that into a promissory note all at once. And they'll
Right.
think, oh, look, she's being a good citizen. She's just going to pay up early because she's going away for Christmas. And then you just hit them with a promissory note. And then by the time that happens, big white light, everyone's back in Kansas. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm
Even if
hoping. But I
not,
haven't
they're not-
actually told them anything about what I owe, so that's not a problem.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't made a return. As I say,
No.
I just sod it.
See,
We're not going
this-
to
This
be
was
here.
lawful 10, 15, 20, 100 years ago. This was the lawful way of doing it. But it was much harder back then because back then they weren't on the back foot. Now the whole judiciary, the whole legal system, they all smelling a rat. So even people in banks are like, well, that's not what we normally do, but I'm just going to roll with this because I don't think something's quite right at the moment. They all know there's loads of empty offices. That's the key thing in common law for me at the moment. I hit them with that first, always.
Yeah.
Whatever it's to do with, I'd start off talking about Satanism, red shoes, vaccines, bum 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 bum, all that, and then empty offices, and then I'll say, oh yeah, about the speeding ticket. After about 2 pages of why you're fucked in a minute, we'll get onto the speeding ticket right at the end. You might not want to proceed with this.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's really helpful. That's taken a weight off, really, because I'm like, don't know what to do. I haven't got a computer. Well, I did have a computer. It's broken, and my tablet's broken. And it's, as I say, it's just a pain in the ass. And
They love the fear. We're going to do this, and we're going to garnish you, and we're going to.
You know what to say on the promissory note.
And something else, and
I have seen it online, but I will check it out before I do it. And
yeah. If you need, we've got the wording. If you need, I can give it to you now if you want. It's up to you. But blue ink and write it across the front of the letter.
Okay, I will. I've seen it online and I can find it again. But
yeah, we'll soon get it to you. I've got
Yeah.
a printable version somewhere, but yeah, so long as that's legible on there in blue ink, yeah, they can't argue with it because it's then a promissory note. Because like I say before, I think it was after 1966, Nixon said that we are now in stage 2 of the economy. That was all over the world. I was going to say globally then, but that was all over the world. But so up to 1966, the promissory note was in stage 1, where it's backed by gold and silver. And then in 1966, after like 50, 65 years or something of promissory notes being not backed by gold and being backed by gold and silver, they changed it to stage 2, which is suspended convertibility of a promissory note. Now that means it doesn't have to be backed by gold and silver, and it also doesn't have to come from a bond. It literally, where all the money comes from. It doesn't come from the ground and oil and people selling bog roll and milk. It comes from organ harvested children, adrenochrome, and people's Cesta KV bonds. That's where all the money comes from.
Yeah. Well,
And all of that is pocket money.
Yeah, what I've learned from you and Christian the last few years has been absolutely amazing. And
Yeah. He's
thank
got
you
a
so
set
much.
of info. It's not normal.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. But it's. I can't think of the word because I've forgotten how to speak English now. But it's comforting. It's comforting.
yes,
You know?
that's a good way
Yeah.
to put it.
Peace of mind. That's what I thought when I first encountered Christian. When he explained 3D to 5D, and I thought, I don't know how, but this geezer, he's onto something here, definitely. And the rest has just been absolute peace of mind, especially for me in my circumstances. I mean, who wants to be homeless? I'm having the time of my life. I don't want to have a house. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want to have loads of money. I just want to get this all done and over with. You know, I know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we all want out
that...
of here, don't we? I mean, my family haven't spoken to me for 5 years because I said, please don't take the vaccine. And one of my sisters, who's got a stepdaughter who's a doctor, and her daughter's a virologist. And we know that's a load of old shit as well, don't we?
Yeah. That's the thing, honestly.
But they believe it. They believe it, and they just, you know, as I say, 5 years they've not spoken to me. Just the same.
And are they all okay, Susie? Nothing happened to them, any of them?
Well, one of my sisters got pneumonia, and my ex-partner, who was a lot older than me, he took 2 in the beginning before I realised what was going on, because it was COVID that woke me up, and he's had shingles. He's had pneumonia, and although we're apart now, I hear he can hardly walk.
Yeah.
So And he literally got up one day, you know, from being quite a fit man, and now he can barely put one foot in front of the other. So I'm told. I mean, I've seen him for a while, but
yeah, that's, you know, the injuries. I was talking about this the other day. It's something like, pardon me, like a year ago, it was like something like 2 billion injuries from these COVID shots. The second shot,
that's
mostly.
outrageous.
I mean, I don't know what the actual figures are, and I don't know what the death toll is. It'd be interesting to know. I don't know where you'd find that out at the moment, to be honest. I did know where to look before a couple of years, but like this was when it first came out. We was checking, and it was really high figures way back.
Yeah,
VAERS and all the vaccine, the VAERS reports were like, they were really high because it takes 45, 50 minutes for a GP to fill out a VAERS, to register a VAERS thing on a vaccine. Because that's, what is it, vaccine early, something to do with vaccine awareness and GPs flagging up symptoms after vaccination is VAERS. I can't remember what it stands for. Early reporting system, or vaccine early reporting system, or something like that. But because a very few GPs have got the time to sit there filling out loads of 50 minutes to fill out one registration, and if you've got 8 or 10 people, you might only do one. And the low figures, there was tens of thousands, and that was in the first few weeks.
Well, exactly. I mean, the good thing this week, they've actually printed something in the Telegraph, which like most people like my family aren't going to believe it unless they see it on the BBC or in the national newspaper or like something. But whether they've taken it on board, I don't know. I mean, it's my 70th birthday is coming up, and I won't hear a word from any of them, which is quite upsetting to me. But it's upsetting.
Some of them work in the NHS because, when people start leaving college and school and university and getting degrees and A, Bs and Cs and A stars and A pluses, all that, you see, this is why they're so hard to tell them. They're so hard to wake them up because they've got a job, they're getting paid good money. What do you mean I'm not? What do you mean it's wrong? I'm on fucking 200 grand a year. How can my education have been wrong? They don't realise. You can't tell them. They'll just have to wait and see.
I can't. Yeah. Well, I've sort of made my peace with it to a degree. I mean, it's still upsetting, obviously, but I've made my peace with it to a degree. I wonder if they're NPCs. I don't know. I kind of hope somehow, some way, we will get back together again, but certainly not until we get the EBS. So I don't.
First scare event. First scare event. Everyone will realise that you was actually not off your head.
But the thing is, that they do know I wasn't off my head. I mean, a lot of like they all said, and I'm never taking another one. And to me, well, then why didn't they come to me and say, well, maybe you were right? But they're just
no, their egos can't do that.
No, I think you're right. It does come down to ego. I think we all said, none of us wanted to be right, but
no,
suddenly we were.
It wasn't about being right.
It's not about that. Yeah.
No, I just, it's like, they said, oh, you're too, forceful about it. I mean, what do you do when you watch your family?
Well, let's see. I don't want you to get poisoned and die.
Yeah, when the house is burning down, you kind of want to tell people you might want to get out of the house because you're going to die in a fire in a minute.
Exactly.
Hey guys, there's a fire.
But it wasn't the information; it was the way I delivered it, which was forcefully, because obviously I didn't want my family to die. But there you go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let somebody else get on. I appreciate all
Susie.
the time we've had the chat, and it's been lovely to talk to you, Leon, and you, Kirsten.
Nice,
nice talking to you, Susie.
Love and light.
Love and light.
Bye, mate.
What do I do now to get off?
I gotcha. I already muted it. Yeah, I was just at my mom's house, and I said she had her grapes in a bowl. I said, "What are you putting that in?" She goes, "Apple cider vinegar and water." I said, "Oh, that's good." Or no, not apple cider vinegar, vinegar and water. And I said, "Oh, that's good. That's cleaning them." But I said, "It's all toxic." And she goes, "Well, I'm hoping that what's his name, Kennedy, is gonna
RFK.
Yeah, is gonna fix some of that." I said, "No, everything you eat is toxic." Yeah, I know. Kennedy's gonna fix some of that. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Yeah. With his Ouija board, because he was executed about 8 years ago.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
Carla, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hello, Carla.
Hello. Thank you, all three of you, for all that you do.
Oh, bless.
Thank you.
I was wondering if I could ask you some health questions, Leon.
Yeah.
Okay. My partner, he has osteoarthritis in his spine and lower back from surgery, and
Right.
it's debilitating pain. He's on pain relievers. He's a veteran. He gets his pain relievers free, but they don't help. And I was wondering if you had any suggestions, something that could
Yeah,
help him.
definitely. Osteoarthritis and osteoporosis and arthritis are the major cause. I mean, maybe your husband, I don't know what's happened, but you were saying us about something from surgery. But the major cause is alcohol, and specifically alcohol in the gut. Now, this causes so many problems. So all the degenerative bone diseases are caused by a poor diet, mostly. I don't know about other things that may have happened to him, yeah, that he's come into contact in whatever industry, but generally it's poor diet. So what happens is the top half of the gut, the bit of the gut up here, when you eat the correct food, a paleo-ketogenic diet, which is a high fat, high meat, high alkaline, diet. What happens when you're eating acids and sugars, which most foods are, whether you go and get fast food, go to the supermarket, there's no nutritional value in the food. The food's all shit. But if you're eating acid and sugar, which any ready meal or any takeaway is a lot of acid, a lot of sugar, what's happening is it turns the top half of the gut into a microbrewery. So your body's brewing alcohol. Now, what happens is that goes into the bloodstream, and then that causes osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, and what was the other one we just talked about? Osteoarthritis, arthritis, and osteoporosis. Yeah, brittle bone disease, and causes that. But that's over a long time. That's over like 50, 60 years of a poor diet. Yeah, that's when people start to get those symptoms. But if you wanted to try and reverse any of that, without a doubt, stop eating anything with acid and sugar in it. No natural synthetic or hidden sugar. No honey, no maize, no cereal for breakfast, because that's all exploded maize and that turns to glucose in the gut. So no fructose, glucose, or sucrose. No natural synthetic or hidden sugar. So no ready meals, only organic meat from if you've got a farm shop near you, organic grass-fed meat. It's not that expensive. In England, it's cheaper to buy that. It's bizarre. It's cheaper to buy that from a farm shop than it is to go and get toxic meat from Sainsbury's. And I only found that out a couple of years ago. I was like, I always had it in my mind that organic meat would be really expensive. Well, it is if you buy it from the supermarket. But when you buy it from the supermarket, it's not organic at all. Even their most expensive organic meat is probably not even fucking meat from a cow. It's probably grown. But when you go to a local farm shop, you're buying a lamb or a cow or whatever, if you're eating meat. But because our vessels are designed to eat meat, and they were, that's why we were talking about this yesterday, I think, weren't we? Because they're designed to eat meat, the healthiest thing that it might sound, if we were normally in our normal vessels, we wouldn't eat meat. No one ever would. Probably wouldn't eat many plants. But because we're in third density in these vessels, we do need meat and we need natural fat. We need that for these organs to work and to stay in homeostasis. You need it, and alkaline. So to reverse it would be a PK diet. There's probably the best thing. Let me think. It's called the best thing. I'll tell you what. It's buy a copy on Amazon. It's a book by Dr. Sarah Myhill. It's called Ecological Medicine. And she's written another book on paleo-ketogenic diet. But write her name down. It's Dr. Sarah Myhill, Myhill. And she's like next level, absolute, curing people left, right, and centre of things that Big Pharma are scratching their heads about. All the bosses of Big Pharma know. Like someone said to me the other day, what was that, Mike Yeadon? Because he's the former head CEO of Pfizer. And I said, well, he's obviously executed and replaced, because you ain't going to be the former head of Pfizer and not be a Satanist. There's no way. So that Mike Yeadon is obviously not the original. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he looks like him, maybe he doesn't. Who knows what the head of Pfizer looked like? Maybe he does look like him. But sorry, I digressed a bit then, didn't I?
Well, he may have been replaced also a long time ago. Christians and some of them have been replaced.
Yeah,
like,
I reckon it would have been a good while
not
back.
like 3-4 years, maybe like 10.
Yeah, they probably got someone that looks similar, and then like that was 10 years ago. Like anyone ever saw him, and like this is the new one.
Yeah,
and
Like
Kevin
Biden.
Hoyt. Yeah, Biden. Sorry, Con.
How about chronic sinus pain as well? He's had his sinuses all rooted out. There's nothing more they can do, but he has constant pain from that as well.
Yeah, I bet that's probably from he's had them rooted out, like
Yeah.
dug out, and yeah, that's probably the problem. The reason he's got pain is probably from that. Like sinus stuff is often I don't my knowledge on that area is not too great, but I've had bad sinus stuff myself 20 years ago. And when I was in the health industry back then, in homeopathic medicine and stuff like that, and naturalistic stuff back then, and I was actually a drug counselor working with holistic care and support for people that use drugs, alcohol, and tranquilizers. And I found out from the shiatsu guy that my problem, and I had really bad hay fever, sinus pain. I used to have to pull a tea towel around my head at night to take the pressure off because it was like really heavy. It was dairy products. So I stopped taking dairy products for about 8 months, 6 months, 8 months, and it kind of went and never come back. And now I eat dairy products, and I live on cheese now, but it's not come back. So, but if he's had them dug out, I nearly had that myself. I nearly went for that because it was so bad, and I just didn't like I don't like operations and syringes, and it's not a bit of me, so I just
But
didn't go for it. But
he was in pain, that's why he went for it. But then they just
yeah.
went overboard.
Yeah, it's most
Hmm.
likely the reason. Yeah, that's probably why. If he's got grief with it now, it's probably. How long ago did he have the operation? Long time,
Yeah, it's a
or
long
is it?
time, long time.
Yeah. And has he had constant pain since the operation, or did it come a long time after?
Before and since, during it, it never
It never went.
alleviated it at all.
Yeah, no. Because there's all like little fibers in those sinuses, and they all move the mucus. And when they go in there and dig it out, it just stays there. It's just like you end up with it solid there, rather than being
Mhm.
moved naturally how it would normally be taken away. But we know that doctors are told the wrong stuff on purpose. Big pharma's created to cause trouble, not to help no one.
Okay, how about my daughter? I got her the HPV vaccine, but unfortunately before I knew better. And so she has terrible reproductive pain and digestive
HPV, remind
pain.
me of that. What HPV is? What?
Human papillomavirus, they were
Right.
pushing it on teenagers, having
Why?
parents give it to their teenagers so they wouldn't get sexually transmitted diseases and
Oh,
cancer and
right.
stuff.
Got you. So what's her symptoms?
She has terrible periods every
Yep.
month. I mean,
Yep.
she's incapacitated for a week at least. And she also has, and I don't know if this is related to that, but terrible digestive issues. She's
Mm.
constantly belching, and
That's
she
the
just,
polysorbate 60. Polysorbate 60, when they start putting that in shit, right? There's polysorbate 60 and polysorbate 80. I think it's all 90. But both of those, one works on the blood-brain barrier, so it makes the blood-brain barrier more penetrable. Yeah, so nothing really, apart from cannabinoids, nothing much can go through the blood-brain barrier. Normal medications have to go through the cerebral cortex to get into the brain. But what polysorbate 80 does is it makes the blood-brain barrier more permeable. So toxins can go straight to the brain rather than be filtered on the way through. And then polysorbate 60 is the reproductive and digestive, causes all havoc with so that's why people get Crohn's. That's why people get all sorts of bowel complaints and digestive disorders. Is polysorbate 60.
what
It's what
can
they
she
put
do
in.
about it?
That would be diet based again, and I'd say that would also be a PK diet. If she eats meat, I would suggest a PK diet.
Okay.
It's going to be diet based, whatever the cure is for that, because it's vaccine derived, definitely. Um, a lot of people that have been hit with a triple shot MMR that are on high spectrum, they can't eat solid food. They're on yogurts and nutri drinks, and that's because of the polysorbate 60. See, what they do is some batches will put a lot of each thing in it, and some batches they'll put a tiny bit. So some kids end up on the high spectrum, some kids end up with Crohn's, and that's the difference. One kid can't talk, non-verbal, high end of the spectrum. One not even on the spectrum, but got Crohn's. Not even on the autism spectrum, but it's caused
Yeah.
by the vaccine. And it's
Yes.
usually thimerosal, polysorbate 60, polysorbate 80. And there's loads of other stuff, but the only things that hang in my mind for digestive and brain stuff is those three
Crohn's
things.
colitis or whatever. Yeah.
Where can
Yeah,
I get
colitis.
where can I get good cannabinoids here in the US that
Everywhere.
for
You should be able
immune?
to get them. What state are you in? You should be able to get them.
Tennessee.
I reckon you. I mean, I think I would Google that. I'd Google the law in your state, and if it says you can't buy it in your state, then you just ignore the law and ask someone. You ask
But
someone that.
it's legal at low levels.
Right.
You
Can
know,
you
you
buy
can get
extracts? Can you
you can
buy? Can you
gummies,
buy
stuff like that, but it's
more like this? I've got
Gotcha.
these here. This is from California. This stuff here. It comes in a little pot like that,
I,
and it
I
looks like this. Oh, sorry.
I don't think so, but I can check it out. I might be able to have it sent in.
Well, I can get it quite easy in the UK. It's just unfortunate. It's from America. My mate has to buy it in from the United States. But that turns up all the time. There's 4 or 5 different cannabinoids in that, and what you want is at least 4 or 5. The more, the better. And I think you can buy, because in England we can only buy like an ounce of that at a time. And you don't even need that much. You'd need a quarter of that. So you'd need like 3 or 4 or 5 cannabinoids or more, preferably, and just to heat them up all together.
Okay.
And then you heat them up to 120 degrees and then stop heating them. And then that is your base for everything else, whether you want to smoke it, you want to eat it, you want to cook with it, you want to put it on your skin. It all starts with that. So it's very simple to make.
All right.
Yeah. I can
Thank
get you
you.
some sent out if you want. My mate in England does. I get mine from him. Um,
Okay.
and what would she need? Where was her problem? Would she
Uh,
need oil or let's have a look.
well, just for maintenance and to try to get well, you know, our immune systems.
Yeah.
Just
I'm just thinking. No, I didn't think because obviously once you've got the oil like that, you can, or I can put it into a cream, a balm, a tincture. Because if you've got, for instance, skin cancer, you want a topical cream. So you need to put the cannabinoids need to go to the closest place where the cancer is. So if you've got colorectal cancer or bowel cancer, you'd want a suppository, yeah, because you need to get the cannabinoids need to break down as close to the cancer as possible. If you've got lung cancer, you want to vape. What I do here with that pipe. But if you've got lung cancer, doing that is the best thing you can possibly do because
okay.
it's taking the cannabinoids and putting them straight where the problem is. But if you've got some
Like
people
her,
that have got
like her digestive issues, would it be good for her to consume it?
brilliant, yeah, definitely, I would take the pills. If pills or oil, does she drive or does she have a working day that or a school run or anything like that?
No, but she can drive. She has a
Yeah, I mean, does
car.
she need? Because some people say when's the best time of the day to do it, and I say to be honest, if you do it in if you haven't got anything to worry about doing in the day, I would say do it early with a cup of tea, yeah, because then you'll get it will work very quickly. If you do it in the evening after you've eaten you've eaten food, sometimes it can take 7 hours to feel the effects. So if you've got to drive in an hour and then you've got to drive home 4 hours later, you're going to be really stoned driving home. Not really dangerous, but you won't want to. But most people that don't smoke cannabis will get because it's got to have THC in it to do anything to the immune system, really, apart from an anti-inflammatory, which CBD is. All of the other cannabinoids on their own don't do much. They all need to be together. And the only way to put them all together is with THC, which is the master cannabinoid that unlocks the value and properties of all the other 113 cannabinoids. And it's only in the presence of a lot of THC that any real healing is going to happen. That's why all the legal stuff is 0.2%, 0.3%. It's got to be over 20% before it's going to work. Now
Okay.
in England, you've got people with lung cancer and they're going, oh, yeah, it's great. I've got a prescription or people with all sorts, they get legal cannabis in the UK. Well, I worked in Macedonia setting up greenhouses and I've seen where that legal cannabis comes from. And it's really substandard, very low percent, and it's one strain. And it's not going to do anything. So it placates the whole legalized cannabis market because they're all like, oh, well, at last we've got legalized cannabis. But it's a crock of shit. You're better off buying stuff on the black market than you are buying that. Because if you've got brain cancer, smoking a joint's not going to help you. You know, if it's not, it might help a little bit, but it's not going to cure it. You need much more cannabinoids and a lot more cannabinoids. But if you don't want to get cancer, smoking a joint will make sure you never get brain cancer, glioblastoma, or any cancer really. If so, I said before, the international statistic for cancer amongst chronic cannabis smokers is actually less than the international statistic for people who never ever smoked even a cigarette. Now, you've got an Olympic runner that's going to have lung cancer, or some bloke begging in town who chain smokes Marlboro and smokes a couple of joints a day. He's never going to get lung cancer. But you've got this fit athlete who worries about all what they put in their body, totally devoid of any cannabinoids. But the international statistic of people with lung cancer who've never smoked is more than the people that smoke. And the chronic cannabis smoker is considered to be 20 joints a day with tobacco and no filter. So people that smoke a joint with tobacco and no filter, like a Marlboro cigarette in a joint, and smoke 20 a day, there's less instance of lung cancer in that group than there is people that are Olympic runners. They get more lung cancer. It's crazy. But it's
Yeah.
because of cannabinoids. So the maintenance dose is very small, but to cure anything, it's quite a lot. But not for long. It's only 2 or 3 months, 6 months. Like stage 4 cancer should be gone with a very high dose of 15 cannabinoids, doesn't matter what ones, so long as there's a lot of THC in it. 15, 20 cannabinoids is going to cure almost any cancer within 10 months, 6 months normally, and sometimes a lot less. Breast cancer is very quick to cure, with especially with DMSO, because when you put DMSO in the cannabinoids, dimethyl sulfoxide is a product left over from the wood manufacturing process where they make paper. It's the wood pulp. And dimethyl sulfoxide is like extremely good as a carrier. So it will take anything that you've got on your hand through the skin into the bone. Now, if you've got brake fluid on your hand, or say you had DMSO on your hand and you went and started checking the oil on your car and you got car oil, it's going to take the car oil straight into your blood, straight into the bone. Very, very bad. So you've got to be careful with DMSO because it's going to take whatever you touch or eat. It's going to take it right into your system. But when you use that as the delivery method for cannabinoids, and you've got de-waxed, de-winterized cannabinoids, which all this stuff is, it goes. So cannabinoids, although they're very small, they have lipids and fats that surround them, keeps them safe. They're in their own little packets. So when you de-wax and de-winterize, when all this stuff that we get from California it's all like well regulated out there. It's excellent stuff. So it's all de-waxed, de-winterized. So what happens is the cannabinoids then want a natural fat. They need a natural fat to bind to. That could be milk, olive oil. It can be pig fat. Can be lamb fat. Can be coconut fat. I use multi-chain triglyceride. Sorry, multi-chain triglyceride (MCT) oil. So it's basically liquefied coconut fat, which is the best thing you can put, and it's clear. I forgot what I was saying. Sorry, what I was talking about.
The delivery system, the DMSO.
Yes, the DMSO. So when you put DMSO, and no one does this, but they should do. If you put in DMSO, for instance, with Rick Simpson oil, because like I said before, Rick Simpson oil is actually really dangerous, because like Dr. Holder Clark says, all cancer is caused by the human intestinal fluke and isopropyl alcohol. Now, Rick Simpson oil is made with isopropyl alcohol. It's made with it. So if you've already got cancer, and everyone who's got a dog or a cat is going to have a human intestinal fluke. I've had loads over the years. I know I have because I've been tested for them on the Rooskoping Mars 3. You can cure intestinal flukes with the juice of 3 grapefruit a day, if anyone's interested. 3 grapefruit juiced, and drink that in the morning for 3 weeks. You'll have no parasites. They'll all be gone. Or you definitely won't have no. I had tapeworm and stuff like that. I was in Macedonia, and but anyway, so I'll well digress then. Sorry. What was I saying?
That's okay. I was wondering if the DMSO would help with the cannabinoids for the arthritis too.
Yes, most definitely. Because what that will do is take the cannabinoids into the bone. Because CBD is one of the things. It's an anti-inflammatory cannabidiol, but because there's 113 cannabinoids and 108 terpenes and flavonoids, and all of these things, all of these constituent parts, like the little micro parts of the cannabis plant, they all work in unison in what's called the entourage effect, which is like a symphony of cannabinoids working together. Now, when you separate the cannabinoids on their own, they don't really do much. They don't really have any healing modality on their own. They need to be together. kind of like a soul family. They need to be together to do anything. So DMSO will help take that, and CBD will help it take it into the. So if you're buying stuff, ask for, I would say four pots of, or 4 grams or 2 grams of each one of like 6 or 7 different cannabinoids, and they're not expensive. You're only looking at like $40 for an ounce. Now, if you had an ounce of each, that would cure like 8 people of cancer, 10 people of any cancer. So you $300 or $400. It's the ratio used to be about 9 ounces of cannabis flower turned into extracts will cure most cancer. 9 ounces is not much. That's not much at all. So you don't need a lot of cannabinoids. But the other thing as well is the Ruth had a bottle the other day. It's the green hull of the black walnut, a clove, and what is it? The other thing is that's another Holder Clark. That kills only 4 days of this cures all cancer, because it kills the parasite and the larvae. Because the human intestine, that's what I was saying before. All cancer is caused by the human intestinal fluke and isopropyl alcohol. That's how we got onto RSO. So isopropyl
Holder
alcohol.
Clark was right.
Yeah. So anyone taking RSO that's already got cancer, it probably might help, but it's certainly not the way forward. You don't want to be taking any isopropyl alcohol. And the other one was Holder Clark talks about was heart disease. All heart disease is caused. See, all diseases are caused by a parasite and a pollutant. And in the case of heart disease, because they say smoking causes heart disease, they're so fucking dodgy. They say smoking causes heart disease. It's not. It's the cobalt they put in cigarettes and the bifluorosis parasite cause heart disease. When the bifluorosis parasite and cobalt come into contact, they cause heart disease, and they know that. That's why they put cobalt in tailor-made cigarettes, a lot of it, because because smoking doesn't cause. If you used to smoke natural tobacco, you smoke it forever and you'd have no problem.
How about drinking alcohol? How about drinking alcohol? Is that bad?
Yeah, no, that's not good for you either. No alcohol is good for you.
Okay.
There isn't such a thing as good alcohol.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm sorry I've taken up so much time, but very interesting.
No worries.
Thank you very much.
Alcohol's not good for you, but a few cheeky ones here and there. That's okay.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
All right, thank you,
when you're in the Great
Carla.
Awakening.
Thank
You're
you.
allowed when you're in the Great Awakening.
Exactly.
Thank you. Love you all.
You too, Carla.
All right, Keith.
Keith.
Hi, good
Hey.
evening. How y'all?
Hello,
Thank
bro.
you very much. Hello,
Good to
brother.
see
How
you.
y'all, man?
Good,
Lovely.
mate. Good.
Thank you very much for what you're doing as well. Always,
worries.
it's greatly appreciated.
My pleasure,
Well,
bro.
I have gone for the big one. I've decided, I wrote off after your last meeting and wrote to think. Firstly, I want to say quickly, Susie for 70 looks very beautiful. So an early birthday greeting from me for her. She looks very beautiful at 70. She's a stunning lady. Susie, one of our family members there. So
Yes.
Yes.
So
She does look beautiful.
yes. So I just wanted to say, yes, I wrote off to my mortgage people, and I got the response back on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm about to sit with it and go with do the promissory note.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
So
they sent you the settlement figure.
yes, they sent me a statement. I opened it briefly. I haven't looked at it in detail, but I asked for the full settlement figure.
Yeah.
Yes. So so I'm also going to do some research on where can I look to get the proper address, because I got the usual letterbox and I don't want that. I want to go and take it hand delivered videoed. I'll have my son videoing me
You're
hand
better off
delivering
sending it
it.
in the post. You're better off sending it in the post, tracked and signed for, because that carries more weight. Because it's
Okay.
sent in the post, it's not in with franked window mail. Go to the post office or wherever. Where do you live, Keith? Whereabouts
In
are you?
Mill Hill, NW7, Northwest
Oh,
7.
right. Okay. So, yeah, go to the post office and send it special delivery, which is tracked and signed for before
Brilliant.
1 p.m. tomorrow. So, unless it's the weekend, they'll get it the next day before 1 p.m. And when they've
Brilliant.
signed for it, that creates the money. Boom. So that
Lovely.
second signature. So if you go in and hand it, they could just go, "Oh yeah, it don't matter." They might say, "Oh well, we we lost it.
Yeah.
Don't know where it is." Once they've signed for it, that's the end of it. That's paid.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So
Yeah.
I don't send it to the PO box. I send it to the HQ.
Yeah. What is it? It's a mortgage company. Send it to their head
Yes.
office.
Good. I'll do
Yeah.
that. I'll
Yeah.
do that, mate. Thank
And
you.
put in there just give them. You want to mention what Lord Denning said?
Yes.
Yeah, you know that, don't you? So
Well,
mention that.
I got some of the things that were posted before of your work, or some of the
Yep.
templates you put out.
Yep.
So I'm going to print those off and
Yep.
copy those to the letter.
Yeah, put them bits in there and then put your own lingo to explain however you want. There's no standard format. Just mention Lord Denning because that's important because it brings it home to the cashier or whoever's looking at it
Yes.
that actually, hang on, he might have something here. What do you mean,
Yes.
Lord Denning? Yeah, and then when the person goes up the line, because then you save yourself time because then you're answering any question that the idiot that opened the letter might have. You've answered
Yes.
them because they've just read it. So you've
Right.
already answered all that. So
Right.
rather than then go, "Oh, sorry, we don't accept that," you've dealt with that bit straight away.
Yes.
And then there's less chance you'll hear back. You might hear
Right.
back. Yeah. Depends what sub-level minion you get. Because some industries, they might be much more white hat influence, where they're like, because I know the police are not nicking people for rack statutes and policies right now. They're not on traffic offences. They're not on. If you're
No, I
burgling
see it.
someone's house, you're in trouble. But that's
I-
it. Yeah. That's
I
it
fully-
basically right now in England.
Yes, I
Yeah.
fully agree because I mean I've got a stack of fines. I've got some speeding fines from Sheffield, Liverpool, Manchester,
Yeah.
Brighton, Bournemouth, everywhere I've travelled, and I haven't.
Keith
They-
what
they-
kind of driver are you, Keith? Where you just been racking it up all over?
I'm a fearless driver now because I can't be asked anymore. Thanks to
Yeah.
all of y'all guys. Y'all arm me, man, with the
He's in the
truth,
wacky
man,
races,
and
though.
I
He's in the
am-
wacky races.
Pardon? Yeah, no. So man, when I drive around now, I just think of you guys, and I think, well, if Leon can do it in his blue van, then who the hell am I?
Listen, trust me, this is the same with everything. I promise you, that's how I see it. I'm like, hang about. If I can do it, trust me, I'm not the sharpest knife in the box. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Same
When
with me,
I
bro.
bump into other people that don't get this, I'm like, come on, this is
Yes.
embarrassing because I ain't the
Yes.
sharpest knife in the box.
Yes.
How come you ain't getting this? It's the same with everything, isn't it?
Oh man,
You've got
I
to do it.
can't begin. I can't begin to express to you guys what a comfort it is. Once upon a time, I tell people with such enthusiasm now, because I tell them once upon a time, as big as I am, 6'3", I would have been shaking in my boots at the thought of violating any of these things. And
Me
now
too. Me
I
too.
do it. I do it with such joy because I know, and Christian and yourself are so right. No one's coming. I drive past untold cops every night to and from my work. I don't see. They don't stop me because I keep on thinking, is today the day that I'll get stopped to be asked about all the stack of things? Because I got about 50 or 60 bloody fines here that I must be honest again. Instinctively, something just told me to just ignore them because
Yeah.
I believe you got a sign to say that you were the driver.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
So yes. So I thought, no, I'll leave it where it is because
Never sign nothing. Never
Yes.
sign nothing. And also,
Yeah.
don't forget anyone that gets done. I mean, so like as we know, a swab going in your ear or up your nose or anywhere, a swab entering your body is a medical procedure. So since the Nuremberg trials in 1946, you can refuse a medical procedure, and that includes a
Yes.
breath test. That's something going in your mouth. You
Wow.
don't have to, and a
True.
blood test, you don't have to accept that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing they can do about it, because just
Yeah.
quote the Nuremberg Code. And do you want to get yourself in a load of shit because you're just about to violate it, and you ain't doing to do no blood breathing test or any of that bollocks, and then you
Right.
might just have to sit in this. Not that you know, I'm just saying, you know, hypothetically
Yeah.
speaking.
There was
Yeah.
one thing I need your help with, because I had as well as these other stuff. I just got notice from my business accountant that they investigating me. But I mean, they asking for all my bank accounts, but I only got one.
Okay.
So
Yeah. What for?
I've never been someone who's devious, ducking money and doing all that shit.
No.
So I'm
Yeah.
not fussed.
What do they want you for? Tax?
Yeah.
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 Well, they can fuck that, because that's all unlawful. They ain't getting none of that. So
Right.
all you need to, I haven't done it yet. I did say this last week, but I've got it
Yeah.
in the van, and the van's a right mess at the moment. But I've got the letter that my mate, who's a copper, done. That the tax man said to him, "Listen, just
I
don't."
heard you.
Yeah,
I heard you mention that, man. Look, man.
I'll rewrite a better one, because when I read it, I thought, because I was expecting it to be like amazing. I mean, it wasn't. I was like,
Yes.
wow, that worked. I'm like, what,
Yes.
that worked? Okay,
Yes.
sweet. That gave me a big boost, because I thought, you know what, I'm not being big-headed, but I would have done much better. But it was it was what he said. Didn't matter how he said it. It was what he said. Because he's a policeman, I thought he'd be like the bollocks at it, but it was just what he said, and it was crudely put together in a common
Yes.
law sense, but
Yes.
it worked. And the cat,
Right.
yeah. So that's you don't need to worry about no tax. It's
I
voluntary.
also.
Tax is voluntary.
Yes, I also got a CCJ for my business. It's not to my name, it's my company name. So they
Right.
sent it to my house. They sent it to my house from the PRS. You know this PRS and PPL? They music and license people. You are paying for the music you play on your premises.
Yeah.
So I was
What, you
thinking
got a
about that.
CCJ for that? What have you got, a gym or something?
No, I've got a small a small nightclub in Mayfair.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've had that for 14 years, and I've been paying this thing. And every time they were charging me so much. They were charging me so much money for all the latest music that I admitted I was playing. So in the end, I wrote to them and told them that, listen, you're charging me money. I'm a small operation. I only got a 50 capacity. I'm not a big disco in that. And they
Yeah.
said, oh, well, you have to pay for all the modern music. So what I done with them was I told them I want a review. And when the guy came, I told my DJ, just play all the Chinese music. So they dropped my bill from $3,000 a year. $3,000 a year. They came back and said I owe them 1,200 a year. So I said
Right.
to them, who's going to these Chinese artists and giving them their commission?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I play a Eric Clapton song, are they going to go and say to Eric Clapton, hey, Keith played in his club your song 10 times last week?
Give the white hats a tenner, will you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't paid, and they sent me a CCJ, and they got. But the funny thing is, their CCJ is stenciled, and it is all. It's got a whole lot of questions for me to tick the boxes on how much I want on me paying. And I said, I'm doing no such thing.
No. No.
All that money goes to like the record companies. You know, I remember like artists, they always they want to do the live shows. That's where they make their money.
Right.
I bet that
Live.
CCJ is from an administrative court. I bet that ain't from a real court.
It's not. Definitely
it's all
not.
bollocks.
Because I
Yeah.
looked at it again, thanks to the wisdom that you all
Yeah.
have shared. I looked at it and I'm switched on. And again, that would have spoiled my weekend. But I thought, hell no. I'll go
No.
and relax and have a
Yeah.
nice burger on you lot. You're getting not a blue bean from me.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice one.
So, yeah. But, you know, where are you, mate? I'd like to. Can I drive past and see you for 10 minutes of your time?
Colchester.
I'll drive past there at your
Yeah,
convenience.
I'm here this week anyway. So it depends
Can
what
I?
happens in the lay of the land. But I'm in Colchester this week.
You want an
Okay,
appointment at the shed?
Can I?
It's a bit cold in the shed at the moment.
Yeah. Can I?
Let me book them in. Hold on.
Give me
Yeah.
GPS coordinates for that.
Yeah, come and stay.
Well, I would love to. It'll give me the opportunity to also meet you if that's convenient to you. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, we can do that, mate.
because
Defo.
I'm free. I'm free to come and go as I wish. So it'll
And
be
he
a
and he
Yeah.
drives really fast to get there. So it's all
Apparently.
I'm coming, Leon.
yeah. So
120 and a 30 and that.
yeah. No, but because you could also give me some. I would be. I won't take much of your time at all. I would be a
Oh,
couple
you're
of
all right, mate.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be a
yeah,
couple of
yeah,
minutes
yeah.
because you could give me a bit more. I'm just concerned about the investigation on the VAT, not on the VAT, on the tax returns, only
Yeah.
because they're trying to link it to my business. So I just want to know how to play
Yeah.
that and be prepared. You know,
That will be,
So
yeah, that will, because there's no law. It actually, to pay tax, turns out it's fraudulent. It's
oh yes, I've
yeah. So it's like everything else. When you tell whatever it is what they're doing, how they're breaking the law and why, and back it up with a bit of
yeah
case law, a couple of bits of case law, they're
yeah
then kind of on notice. You've told them that they're up to no good. Maybe
yes
they didn't know, maybe they did, but you've told them. So then
okay.
you take it from there. So don't worry about none of that tax
Okay,
bollocks.
good, mate. Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant. Well, that's excellent. There was another thing I wanted to ask quickly. I'm sorry to take so much
No,
time.
you're right.
Um,
It's okay.
just I just wanted to share with you all that I went on 3 weeks ago. I had a bit of a back injury. I injured my back lifting a bit too heavy in the gym.
Yeah.
So then I think I pulled something. So I went to a guy who I've befriended. He's very spiritual, dude. So I go to him and he does all these back injuries and all that. So he pulled and prodded me and done my back and all this. So anyway, he starts telling me about this bioresonance
Yeah.
machine that
Yeah.
he's got.
What's it
So
called?
it's just called bioresonance therapy.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll share with you the link and for anybody who's. But I tell you what, I just wanted to share my experience with you, right? So he does this thing, and it's for 2.5 hours. You sit on there. It takes a pinprick of your blood, puts it in the machine,
Yeah.
and this thing literally reads every single thing in your body that's working. I mean, I was astonished. I didn't
Tell me
think much
about it.
of it. Hey, I
I know.
didn't think
I know.
I didn't
It's
think
far
much
out.
of it, Leon. But then
Yeah.
I sat. I thought, what the hell? For £300, it's well
Wow.
worth it. I mean, you're
Really?
talking about
300
your
quid?
own. It was 290, but I just gave him 300 because I was happy. I thought, let me
Well,
get an experience on this, because he was telling me that a woman in Belgium was diagnosed with breast cancer,
yeah.
and fortunately for her, someone
Yeah.
had been to him before,
Yeah.
and she was due for what you call that thing, a mastectomy,
Mammogram.
a,
Mastectomy or
a
something?
mastectomy.
Oh,
Mastectomy?
Yeah, yeah, she
Yeah.
was down for that. So anyway, she fortunately someone had told her about him. She goes on his program onto this therapy, and he
Mm.
turns and shows her that no, you got some lumps in your breast there, but
Yep.
it's nothing to do with cancer. It's to do with bacteria,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Listen,
The
this
machine
quantum
tells him,
response medicine is amazing. I've got a lot of
and
experience with that QRM, and it is, and the bioresonance is
it
fucking next level,
uses
mate.
it used her own body energy
Yep.
to
I
get
know.
rid of it.
Yeah. I'll
Now,
get that done in Colchester for 50 quid. 50 quid a
wow.
month. Yeah, they'll do that for 50 quid a month, and you don't need a blood sample. It's the Bruce Coppin Mars 3 QRM. It is
Wow.
absolutely
But Leon,
godlike. Godlike. It's amazing.
so I had a follow-up treatment the following Wednesday, but unfortunately, the Tuesday before I get sick, man, I took a terrible, I don't know what happened. I went down the road. I'm a very kind of affectionate kind of person. So whenever I see people I like and I click with, I give them a hug and all that. So I hug these three dudes and then I forget afterwards, oh shit, they vexed to the max. So by the time I come back from there, I'm feeling feverish. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just come back from the gym. I had a mother of a workout, feeling on top of my game. After leaving these dudes, I'm feeling sick. I come home this is about four. By 5 o'clock, I can't stay up. I'm feeling cold. I go into bed and I'm thinking, oh shit, tomorrow morning I got this appointment with this guy. I better phone and cancel it. So I get on the phone to him and I tell him, hey mate, I'm feeling so poorly. I don't know whether you want me to come to you or not because I explain what I'm feeling. And he turns and he says to me, because now I've resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to be laid up for about 3 days with this thing that's so bad. So then he goes to me, what are you feeling? So he starts telling me. I start telling him how I'm feeling and that. And he says, give me a minute. So he gives me a minute and he says, I'm running a program on you. But this time I ask him, are you doing something? Because I can feel like someone's prodding in my abdomen. I can feel the energies like someone's prodding in my abdomen and that kind of thing. So I said to him, hey, are you doing something? Because I can feel like someone's tampering inside my body. He said, yeah, I'm running a program on you. I told you I can do it remotely.
Yeah.
Right?
It's far out.
He's doing
When
it remotely. And
Yeah.
next thing, my temperature goes even higher. And then for about 3 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, what's happening? Because I'm boiling, right? And
Yeah.
then and I tell him, I say to him, my temperature is going very high, mate.
Yeah.
And he says to me, just stay there. And within 2 minutes from that, boom, my temperature drops. And honestly, guys, I can't believe it. I sat up there about 15 minutes later in my bed and I thought to myself, what the hell just happened to me? Because I was feeling like I've recovered from 3 days of a bad flu in bed.
Yeah.
He said to me, the machine is running and it's getting rid of the viruses that are attacking you at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
within 15 minutes it's gone.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could have gone to the gym anyway and had a workout again. I was feeling on top of
Yeah.
it again
Do you
already.
know, when I first come into contact with that Bruce Coppin Mars 3, that's quantum response medicine, bioresonance, like what you're talking about. Different system, clearly, but it's the same thing. I couldn't believe it. I'd made a cure, my THC oil company, and I just started making various strengths of THC pills.
Yes.
And I accidentally put 7 people in a year in A&E because they had cancer and they'd never taken cannabis. And I didn't know that people's tolerances were going to be different. I didn't even
Yes.
think about that. I was trying to make a cannabis pill, a liquid cannabis pill that would work for the majority of people and without getting them too stoned. But 7 of them ended up in an accident emergency hallucinating because it was really strong. So I met my mate. I had a cannabis shop, and I said to my pal, he's Spanish Tony. He said his English wasn't great. He said, "Oh, my friend, she's got a machine in her basement. She can test all that." His English wasn't great, and I was like, because I've been looking into the equipment. You need about 70 grand to buy something to do that. I said,
That's
she
what I
ain't
wanted
got
to
that in
ask
her
you
basement. There's no way. There's no
that's
way.
what
So
that's what I
Huh?
wanted to ask you and Christian about, because my thoughts laying in my bed. I was so grateful, Leon, for feeling so much better, just like that in a blink of an eye. And I
Yeah, it's
thought to
amazing.
myself, in South Africa, there's so many people are sick. I'll
Yeah.
pay this bloody mortgage off. I'll take a loan and I'll buy a machine and take it to South Africa.
Yeah, they're
Because
15
I'll get
grand.
someone, because apparently they come from Germany and this dude
That's
will
right.
they
That's
train
right.
you to
Yeah.
use the machine. And my mate who does it, he said to me, Keith, I've done nothing. As I know, he's been in and out of prison here in England.
Yeah.
He's just like you, Leon. He's a lovely lad. A lovely lad, I tell you. A lovely person, man. You feel this dude's love when you sit with him, man.
Yeah.
And he was someone who my son-in-law knows. So my son-in-law, I go in next door to my kids. because they live next door in the house next door to me. And I go
Yeah.
in there next door to go and talk to them about going to this bloody church or everything. So while I'm talking to them and telling them, I see y'all's pastor in the bloody church in Brent Cross shopping mall on a Sunday, on a Monday, with
Yeah.
y'all's bloody collection money walking around with nice bags from all the designer shops.
Louis
So
Vuitton and all that. Yeah.
so I'm telling
Yeah.
my son-in-law this. He turns and goes to me, "Oh, you sound just like a guy I train, one of my clients." So as he's telling me this, he goes to me. This he says the name Michael, and Michael rings his phone. So he goes, "Look here, who's ringing?" And next thing he puts me onto the phone to Michael. And Michael and I start talking. 3 hours later, I'm still on the phone talking to this dude. We just connected, man. And that's
No
back
debate.
in June, you know. But listen, seriously, Leon, because I know that everything is coming to an end, I'm keen to get involved with sending something like that to South Africa. I got big extended family there, and I'm thinking of them doing a project where they heal people, and you charge a reasonable fee for people, but non-profit, for the ones who can afford to pay, but they must
Yeah.
also pay to help keep us doing people for
Yeah.
free.
Hopefully, we ain't got time to worry about that though. But
Exactly.
no, it's good intention. But
It
hopefully,
is.
we are. Hopefully, we shouldn't be going. Hopefully, we won't see New Year's Day. Let's just say
Yes.
that.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about Carla, who just spoke just before me with her
Yeah.
daughter,
Yeah.
because this
Definitely.
guy has
Definitely
told
get on
me.
that machine.
He's
Million
told
percent.
me he's done some wonderful things for people with the vaccines, because he laughs and he tells me, he says, "Keith, people come to me and they tell me, I've never taken the vaccine. I've never taken," he starts telling them, "You've taken 1, 2, and 3. You've taken the Pfizer, the Johnson's, this, that." He says,
There's
and
not
they
much
all
they can do
blow.
because that vaccine's ET technology. It's like fourth density negative ET technology. There
Right.
ain't nothing in third density. It's like Roswell. You
Yes.
don't bring down free ET UFOs with third density technology. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
It's like the vaccine. There's not much people say, oh, you can get borax and do this and that, but
Yes.
no, not really.
I'm listening. I was just listening to Carla explaining her position on her husband and her daughter.
Keith,
Yeah,
can your
I
friend
think,
help Carla?
yes, I
definitely.
think so.
Can you
You
get in
ain't no
touch with
Definitely.
Carla?
it definitely be able to because this quantum response medicine is
Yes.
when I first I've had a lot of experience with it and I could
Yes.
talk for 4 or 5 hours just about that to be honest, but I don't want to bore anyone. But
Oh,
it is the most amazing thing you've ever had happen to you. Now it's
I
better than a
kid you
CT
not,
scan, it's better than magnetic
Leon.
resonance
Put
imaging.
your Keith, put your email in there for Carla in the chat for Carla,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
I will.
it's
she
very
can get a
Yeah.
hold of you.
she's going to get a lot of information from that big time,
Listen,
and you
mate.
don't have to be present to get the information
Right, you can
because
do
you
it
can
over the
do it
phone.
remotely. They can do it remotely.
Remotely. He does
Yeah.
it remotely
I
because
know, it's mental, isn't it?
he told me he's dealing with this woman in Belgium, right? And I
Yeah,
promise you, I frowned upon it when I was sitting there on his machine doing it, and I thought I
yeah,
paid it no attention. But somehow I got my lesson on the Tuesday, because when he
yeah,
fixed me like that, I thought to
yeah,
myself, my goodness, this
yeah,
thing works. And
yeah,
he's so excited. He's telling me, he's saying to me, "Keith, listen, mate, they've hidden this technology from us." And of course, I'm averse with that because you and
mm,
Christian and all the others that are well aware of these things have been educating us, in particular, Christian,
mm,
for me,
yeah,
y'all have been singing, y'all been banging this drum for a while now. So
yeah,
I'm on board with that. So it wasn't lost on me. But I must say, having the remote treatment, laying in my bed, and my man doesn't ask me, he just says to me, "Hang on." I go,
yeah,
"What's the hell's happening?" And he says, "I'm working on you at the moment. Stay there."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Also, it acts
Yeah.
like, listen, them quantum response medicine, that acts like health insurance because, like, my mate Juta, when I was in Macedonia, she's like 6,000 miles away in England or
yes,
4,000, whatever. And
yes,
I had really bad backache, and I thought it's my kidneys because I've been drinking cheap brandy that the geezer out there, his dad was making, and I thought
Yes.
it was that. And the interpreter, the Macedonian interpreter, he said, no, it's the
Yes.
wind because it was winter. He said, you've only got a
Yes.
t-shirt and a jacket. And I was like, nah. While we're having this conversation, my mate in England, who I paid her a monthly fee, it was like 46 a month, and she checked me, my son, and
Wow.
my ex at the time. And
Yes.
and she would ring me and she said to me, I was in a cab. She said, you've got kidney infection. And I'm like, what? And I'm thinking, fuck, that's what that pain is. And she said, I just thought I'd let you know if you want to get rid of that, fermented cabbage and sour cream. And I said,
Wow.
right. I said, well, I'm in Macedonia. There's more fermented cabbage you can wave a short stick at. So, and she said, and sour cream. And I said, oh, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. So I asked Christian, our interpreter, and he said, never heard of it. And he was good English, American English, only 28, but he was educated
Yes.
in America, perfect English. And he said, I've never heard of it.
Yes.
Anyway, 3 months later, I couldn't get it. 3 months later, I come back to England. I went to see you. And she said, wow. She said, sit down in front of the machine because she could do it all remotely. And she said, the funny thing is, she said, 3 months later, she said, sour cream's still coming up in your reading. I said,
Wow.
I couldn't get it. She said, well, you did get it. She said, it's
in the
coming up in your
States.
reading. And I said, no, I said, honestly, I tried to get it and I couldn't. The interpreter didn't know. The supermarkets never heard of it. Anyway,
Yes.
so Christmas, just after Christmas, I went back to Macedonia. And I'm thinking, that was weird. How couldn't it be showing up in my reading from this 4,000 miles away when I haven't had it? You can't, can it? Well, we went back, and now every time you get a meat dish in Macedonia, you get this white cream with it. I didn't know that was fucking sour cream. I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
sour cream.
And I was eating it accidentally. And that showed up in my quantum response reading 3 months later.
You know why? Because you don't eat enough tacos, and that's the problem with America. See, in the
Yes.
world, you don't eat enough tacos. You need sour cream.
It's all
Blimey.
about the
We put
tacos.
sour cream on
That's
everything
good.
here.
Everything.
That's good.
No,
Well,
it's,
Leon said he can
okay,
do
guys.
buttermilk, not sour cream.
Oh,
Sorry.
buttermilk. Yeah, yeah. We have
Buttermilk.
buttermilk.
Not
Yeah,
sour
they
cream.
told me.
Sorry,
He told
we've
me
got
I'm to
loads of
stay
sour
away.
cream there, but it was
Yeah, we have
buttermilk.
buttermilk here
I've
too.
never heard of it
Wow.
until then. Yeah.
He told me, I mean, it listed everything. I had a bit of difficulty swallowing food, and I didn't even tell him about that. And he said to me, oh, the machine's telling him that you're having difficulty swallowing food
Yeah.
because your food pipe is closing. And he said, I'm going to loosen it for you. And honestly, he done it there and then. This machine uses your own energy to heal
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
It's-
bioresonance is a mental.
so I thought to myself, this is why these swines kept this a secret, because what do you
Yes.
need a doctor for?
No, you don't.
That's exactly it. My first question was, how come there's not one of these on every ward in every hospital in the world?
Yeah.
But there's no
But they
point
put the
because they don't want you
defibrillator.
getting. Because that machine, right, it will diagnose, treat, and cure pretty much anything, all of it. So
Man,
they
Well,
can't
look,
have that in
look
a
at
hospital.
Superman in the sun. What healed him.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what they
unbelievable.
had in the hospitals. They used to heal everyone with the sun.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
happy.
Good
He's
point,
happy. He's happy for me to give anybody, because he does it for free. He helps people for nothing, because
So
I mean
is my pal.
he just
Yeah.
loves helping people. But you know, as I say to him, for me, I'm lucky I can afford to pay, so I must, we must support each other, but it's not about money. I listened to you all talking about Charlie Ward and all of them yesterday. They were the first people I listened to after I'd heard Christian. But once I heard them mention anything about prestige amongst each other, I thought
Yeah.
to myself, you're not for real. The minute you start with
Mhm.
confidence, your heart's in the wrong place.
Yeah,
Because
you know that.
you all about adulation. You're not about love.
Right.
But guys, I love you all. Thank you very much.
Yes.
How would Leon? I want to confirm a convenient time to pop in and see you.
Keith, get a hold of me on the Telegram channel, and I'll give
You
you
got my
Leon's
number,
WhatsApp.
Keith. We spoke on the phone, haven't we?
Oh, did you?
We
Okay.
haven't spoken. I've been trying to get hold of you, but
Yeah, but I've got your number on my phone, haven't I? So we'll
Yes.
arrange that. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
I'd
so
appreciate
text
that,
him.
because Leon,
All
I'm
right.
free. I'll come at your convenience, mate, and I promise you, I'll be 15 minutes with you and I'll be gone. I won't be in your hair for long.
Oh, we
I
do more
mean,
than
sorry,
15 minutes,
I
mate.
won't
We
be
do
in
more than
your.
15
You
minutes.
don't have any hair, so you're good.
Don't break the speed, though, will you? Don't be doing
Yeah, you
71 to
will.
70.
Yeah, you will.
Leon said he could go on this topic for 4 or 5 hours. He's been hanging around that Sibley guy way too long.
Oh, lovely.
Way too long.
Anybody who wants help with the thing and information, I will happily oblige. I'm
Okay.
up. I only sleep 4 hours a day. I'm up any time of the night. Otherwise, I
Oh,
only
me
sleep.
too. Yeah,
Yes,
nice
I only
sweet
sleep
fellow
from 5 in the
non-sleeper.
morning. 5 in the morning to 9. The rest you'll catch me. I love you all.
I
Thank you
love
very
you,
much.
Keith.
Thank
Nice
you.
one. Nice one,
Thank
Keith.
you. Thank
Right.
you.
Thanks, Keith.
Okay, we got me.
Hi, Tammy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Did it. This is the first time I've got on here, so I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, don't be
Ah,
nervous. Nothing to be nervous about.
Yeah.
But
Just roll
first
with
of
it.
all, I love you guys to death. And thank you for all the
Pleasure.
information you put out there.
It's amazing
And
info, isn't it?
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. It's like you can't get enough of it. It's like a craving.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's how I
true.
feel.
Yeah.
I
We
had a
want
question
more.
about exactly. You can't get enough.
Yeah.
A question about the promissory note. I bank with a credit union, and they sent me a letter by repossession, but they will not give me a copy of what I owe. So can I use the bank statement as a promissory note?
You can use anything as a promissory note. It's just more easily facilitated when you use their own financial instrument. They have well, it's not a financial, it turns up to you as a bill, but when you turn it into a promissory note, it becomes a financial instrument, and then it's just easier facilitated. But you can write a promissory note on an old fish and chip packet. It's still a promissory note. So yeah, you can. Like I say, it's easier because when they write to you and they say, look, this is your account number, there's a barcode on it, you owe us this, Mrs. Whatever, Mrs. Rogers, that's perfect, because then that makes it a whole lot easier. If you was going to write a promissory note from scratch based on your bank account, you'd need to write a cover letter with it and explain Lord Denning's decree. I can help you with that if you want.
Yes, please.
If you've not done nothing like that before. And just the covering letter will explain what the promissory note is for, and that will also have your tax number on it, or your whatever national insurance number, well, a tax number you have out there, I think, isn't it? Like I say, it doesn't technically need to, but if you're going to do it this way, it's better to have more basic, all the belts and braces, more bases covered, less for them to. They can't argue with it anyway, technically. Whereabouts do you live?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah. Because it doesn't matter. So, I mean, America, like I say, the Yemen, China, Spain, it should work technically, but well, not China and the Yemen, but in Spain it should work. But I don't know anyone that's done it successfully yet in Spain. But a lot of countries it works in. Canada, all of Europe, lots of Africa. Because it's how all the banks do money. That's how it's the Crown. Everywhere the Crown went, they set up their little Knights Templar money banking bullshit and start creating money out of thin air. They base it on gold and silver for 100 years. And then when everyone believes in gold and silver and they're like, well, we don't have to carry big pots of gold, we can carry a bit of paper. And it says that's so because they pitch it to people like, look, instead of carrying all your money in a wagon to go from Arkansas to fucking wherever, you can just go to the local bank, give them this bit of paper, and that's to prove that you've got this stored with us. And because you even made that look like a good idea. The whole banking thing seemed like a great idea when they started doing it. All of the people trading, they loved it. They didn't want to get robbed with all their gold. Rather than get robbed with all their gold, they can keep a little bit of paper in their pocket that is all of their worth. So it was brought in as a really good idea to help people, but it wasn't. It was our enslavement for this, the last 100 years.
Yeah,
or more,
totally.
even.
It was a brilliant move to bring that in.
Yeah,
everything
think how
they've
much.
done
I mean,
is-
if you're a rich landowner or a nobility, you don't want to be traveling around with 20 grand in the back of the car. You want to have a little bit of paper that you can put in your pocket. It's a lot easier. So you can see how they pitched it back then. But basically, a promissory note, yeah. So you can do that. You can do it with the bank statement. If the bank, not with the bank statement, but you can get the final figure off the bank statement, I guess, or what you owe them. See, you can do that in two ways. You can send them a monthly promissory note. You can pay the promissory note for this last month's bill, and next month's bill, and the bill after, and the one after. And then what will probably happen is they'll say we don't accept it, and then you can write back and say, well, it's tough shit because you have to, because that's how it is. I mean, the last one I wrote in reply was they said they didn't accept it. It was for me for something. And I said, well, that's fine. You don't have to accept it. But the law says, I said, this works. I said, I pay all my bills with this. I said, the reason it works is because the law says it works. So it don't matter if you don't accept it. I'll see you in court. See you later. Don't bother writing to me again or take me to a normal court, not an administrative court, totally unlawful. Take me to a real court because I know for a fact that won't work in there. They're not, that ain't going to work. They'll have to accept it. Or just sue them for stress, mental anguish, loss of earnings, 70 grand for stress and mental anguish.
That's the shock and awe, Leon Sinclair.
Don't want to get involved in all that. They don't want to get involved in selling their house to pay some bloke who's, they don't want to. So it kind of nips it in the bud. But like I say, now's the time to push back, definitely.
Yeah, they don't send out a
mental
paper
stress,
statement. You have to go online and get it. And then since we've been behind on it, they just try to tell us we need to send so much in. But I'll have
What's
no
your
paper
monthly
copy.
repayment? I would write a promissory note for the monthly repayment, and I'd put an extra $50 on it. Make it for $100 more, and say, there's $100 there for the bank. That's for you guys for doing it for me. There you go. Thank you. Here's £100 for you. Have a drink on me. Look, get yourself something nice, treacle.
Get some mood enhancing.
Yeah.
So you can help me with the top.
I can help you with the letter, definitely.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. Tammy, let me write your name down. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. Because once you've seen one, it's the same procedure, just slightly different format for every time you do a promissory note. It's very similar. I quote Lord Denning. Then I put about Halsbury's law about how administrative courts are unlawful. Sometimes I don't do that because the thing that they're going to be, you got to think for them because they're going to get that and they're going to go, right, no, we need to instruct the bailiffs. That's what they do in England. Oh, no, look, he's not paying. All right, we'll instruct the bailiffs, 3-letter process. But when you quote Halsbury's law, you're telling them already that there's no way the bailiffs can come because you've just told them why the bailiffs are unlawful and explained it with case law. In the letter, it's only a couple of pages, but when they see that, that's what I'm saying. You see, what you want to do in that first letter when you send the promissory note is answer all of their questions or all of their rebuts, because they might say, "Oh no, we don't accept it," or "Oh, with this, oh no, this, whatever." If you can answer all of them questions, they're like, "Oh fucking hell, what do we do now?" Well, just don't say nothing. Or they'll say, "We don't accept it," and then you can tell them why. Again, say, "No, you've got to accept it. I'm not offering you something. It's not a decision you can make. If you want paying, this is a promissory note and it's cash. So you're accepting it or don't contact me again." And it will work.
Okay.
Now it will work more than ever in the world. It would always work if you was really, really good at common law and you'd done a lot of research. But now, because of the amount of people doing this in social media, lots of people knowing about this now, I swear to God, all the banks are getting promissory notes. Maybe not from millions of people, but every single bank, they're getting promissory notes. I reckon London Council probably getting more promissory notes right now than they are payment. Because everyone knows it. I mean, like in London, places like that, you've got 7-8 million people. You've probably got 2 million people putting promissory notes in. And that's what we need. The more people pushing back, the white hats, the vibration goes up. The Schumann resonance, they're keeping track on that. We've all got to be at the right vibration before they can do this. That's why when they up the Schumann resonance, they up it very slowly. And Christian's dates before, like last November, we didn't know this till the other week. All of these dates when we was hoping that this would be is when they've upped the Schumann resonance a little bit because the Schumann resonance is like the tone of the planet, but it's like the vibration. So the people that live on it, we've all got to be at 144,000 hertz or higher. Now, clearly not everyone's at that stage yet, although most people might be in and out of that. With things that are going on in the media and people that are poorly and your nan's ill and you've got cancer, that all doesn't help your vibration. So I guess when the time is right, they'll what, because the Schumann resonance is controllable. They can change all that. It's all parameters that they control. So when we're all buzzing, which won't be long, this is very, very soon. This is coming soon. So like I say now, if any time to push back ever in the history of pushing back, it's definitely now. Because it's going to work now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if not, there's a lot of people that know why it should be working. It's not like it's like years ago you hear a common law and people didn't know enough about it. No one really knew anything about it 30 years ago, 20 years ago. People were like, well, there was a handful, and they're the giants in the industry now. But even some of them are getting arrested and put in jail for contempt of court.
And it may take 2 or 3 letters too. It may not be on the first one. You may not hit the
I've always done all this always within 3 letters, and I had a 4-letter one the other day. I think I've had 2 of them ever where it's taken 4 letters before they don't contact you again. Now that's unlikely because it's all a 3-letter process. The bailiffs have 3 letters. You've got 3 letters. It's a postal thing. You've got 3 letters to sort your issue out. And they've got 3 letters. So if you let them know everything in the first letter, you might not get a second letter. And if you don't get a second letter, you've got nothing to worry about. If you get a 3rd letter, you might have to send them a 4th letter, and then there's nothing to worry about. Because they might be cheeky and just try a sly one. Sorry, you might get some stubborn prick that goes, no, well, I'm just not accepting that. I need full payment, because they're just oblivious. Yeah. And then you send them another letter, and eventually, before it goes to court, they'll think, oh, fucking hell, all right. Oh, no, we can't do nothing about that. All right, well, we better not pursue that, because they're going to get themselves in trouble. That's how it works, because it turns the situation around to they're now incriminating themselves, aiding and abetting in the Treasonous Act, trying to obtain money by deception, malfeasance, misfeasance, nonfeasance in public office. I don't know what you've got out there, but that's what we've got here. You'll have something similar. So you can't be in public office. That's like a policeman, a doctor, a nurse, a GP, a solicitor, a magistrate, a judge, any of the judiciary, loads of people, a security guard sometimes. In public office, when you break the law, because the public are meant to look up to you and trust you and respect you and know that you're not going to fuck them about, when you do break the law in public office, now none of these people know they're breaking the law. They don't know. They're just going along with doing my job. But when you tell them, they're on notice now. They understand that they're actually breaking the law. They might not believe you, but it don't matter. They're still breaking the law, and that's how it works. Because you turn the law back on them. It's like, well, you're enforcing a fraudulent act, statute, and policy. 1st of January 1973 in the United Kingdom, every act, statute, and policy was an act of high treason, aiding and abetting in a treasonous act, because Thatcher, Heath, and the Queen took us into the EEC unlawfully. Didn't tell the public. There's a document in England. It's called FCO 30-1048, and that is the smoking gun proof of high treason created by the Queen. She should have been beheaded back in 1971. 1973. 1st of January 1973. Yeah, so it's the year I was born. So a few months before I was born, the Queen, Edward Heath, and Margaret Thatcher should have been beheaded because they took the United Kingdom into the European Economic Community, which is high treason. And any act, statute, or policy brought out after the 1st of January 1973 is aiding and abetting in a treasonous act. So any judge or magistrate or police officer trying to enforce any act, statute, or policy brought out after that date, 1st of January 1973, is guilty of malfeasance, misfeasance, nonfeasance in public office.
And that's for everyone, because we're all under the crown.
Everyone, because everyone's under the crown. Nonfeasance in public office, aiding and abetting in a treasonous act, and trying to obtain money by deception. And these are all fucking serious shit. You're looking at 6 years. If you're a judge and you get done for aiding and abetting in a treasonous act, well, it's still punishable by death. Yeah. Trying to obtain money by deception is 7 years.
Well, now it all will be.
It's probably 15 years if you're in public office.
Yeah. Hey, Leon, you said something about doing a cover letter for everyone for the promissory note that you were going to type up, I guess.
Yep.
That's what you said last. Yeah.
Everybody's
asking about that.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Apologies for having not. I was trying to get that last synopsis out before it killed me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you never
night.
do anything, Leon, so I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I spend a lot of time on the laptop.
No,
Yeah.
and Mr. Sibley. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr.
He takes
Sibbs.
up a little bit of time.
Bless him. I miss him already. I saw him yesterday. I miss him already.
I know.
I know
Yeah.
you guys are
He's
so
been a little
awesome
quiet.
together.
Yeah.
And he
Well,
misses you.
I've got no conversation. I've got you guys. I mean, I ain't got no. I mean, I don't have no stimulating conversation. Who with?
Yeah.
There
I
ain't no
know.
one away.
Who do we got?
It's only
I
know,
you
that's
lot
all of
and
us, Leon.
Christian.
I'll talk to you, Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
All right. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Did we
Love
get
you
everything
too.
there?
Nice
Yeah,
one,
we got
darling.
it for you, Tammy. You
Yes,
good to
thank
go?
you.
Okay.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Cheryl.
Cheryl Bright.
Cheryl.
Come on
Hello,
Look
down.
how bright she is.
Dave.
Oh, where's Leon? There you are. Hi, Leon.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm just going to bring you up to see on what's happening. Of course, you probably already know the way things are going. But so I had this court date several weeks ago, and it wasn't really a court date. It was a hearing about eviction. Okay. So bottom line is, I'm still in this place because Mother Celicia told Christian, and he told me on a Zoom, I was to stay here because it's over a very special place, very
Node.
special
Yeah.
node, lattice, and the whole thing. Okay, so when I heard that, of course, yes, there's no question. But in the process, I was already getting booted out of here. So then I just resisted, and then they brought me to court. And then when I was in court, the judge asked me why I didn't vacate. And I said I didn't vacate because I'm disabled, with MS, and I'm protected by the ADA. And also, we're in a time of martial law. And the judge cut me off, and he said, go sit down. And so I went and sat down, and then he got on the phone with someone, and then came, took about maybe 4 to 5 people before he called me back. And then he said, you come back up, Cheryl Bright. And I came up, and he said he was giving everybody, because everyone's getting evicted, right? So because you can't, it's probably like everywhere, but you can't live in a little, this apartment. This is the plumbing doesn't work. I mean, nothing works here, right? But this is such a
Whereabouts are you, Cheryl?
in Hawaii. Yeah, in Hawaii, on the island. Yeah, the
I knew it
island
was
of
summer
Oahu.
exotic. I knew it was summer exotic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So anyway, the bottom line is I'm not moving, right? So then the judge said, okay, I'll give you 6 weeks. Would you like mediation? So to buy time, I said, yes, I'd like mediation. So anyway, we went to mediation, and I won't even go into it because I can't. I will use such profanity.
I know what you're saying. Mediation is also joined all that sort of stuff. When they offer you help to pay, that's all bollocks. It's all their corrupt system.
It is.
So I get you.
It is.
I bet that pissed you right off.
It pissed me off. And then what happens is the guy before the so-called mediator, before they let me in the room, right, with the attorney, was telling me about, I can do it for you. You don't have to come in. I can go in and talk to them and bring it to you. And I said to him, the final line was, I said, no, I trust my own and my own eyes and my own ears,
Good for you. Good for
and
you.
he was not really pleased with that, because he had to drop on me that he's been working with Mr. Lau, who's the attorney of this family who's trying to get me out of here.
Right.
That they've been working together in, this low, because I saw him for what he is. Okay, he's a fucking low level Masonic piece of shit, know.
What do they want from you? Do they say you owe the money, or do they want to sell the house, or what do they want?
Well, they're saying they sold this place, and now this mediator should have known what was going on, and he starts telling me, well, they already sold the building, it's vacant. Anyway,
Have you got a contract with them? Have you got a contract with them?
It was on a month-to-month kind of thing,
right?
Purposely. Okay. These people, listen, I'm dealing with a huge, excuse me, but Hawaii's. We got some real Chinese stuff here. Yeah. Real, like a lot of places, you know what I mean? These are big families. They own a lot,
Yeah,
whatever.
powerful.
So
They're
I
all
finally,
corrupt.
yeah, of course. And so I try to I get into the meeting, and he introduces me. "Oh, this is Cheryl White. She came in the meeting, and not one person greeted me, which I don't need. I don't need their fucking greeting, but it just
No.
totally let me know where I was standing. Now, there was no discussion of any kind of mediation whatsoever. He literally screamed at me through the Zoom box. What did he say exactly? Oh, ETs, help me out. Something about, like, when are you getting out? Something like that. I wasn't
Yeah.
giving him a date, and
Yeah.
so I tried to stay calm during it, but he would not speak. First of all, he would not look at me. He kept his eyes
Yeah.
completely down, wouldn't look at me, and he barked at me like I can deal with a lot of assertiveness in people.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother
Yeah.
me, okay? Because I
Yeah.
can be fucking assertive too, okay?
Yeah.
And then, but when you come at me aggressively, back the fuck up. Excuse me. I'm just being
Definitely.
authentic, people. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. I won't
Yeah.
do that again, because I
No.
know you have to clean it up, Kirsten. But the thing is, so I came out real strong. Meantime, I have this stupid little low level Mason dude going, oh, what he's trying to say, right? What he's saying is, and I said, well, then if that's what he's saying, I need to hear what he's saying, right? To which the attorney yelled something, and I couldn't make it out. So I asked the guy, what did he just say? And he said, oh, it doesn't matter. And I said, oh, it matters to me what he said. But they would never tell me what he said. It was like such an affront to anything. But it's not shocking. Like my son said, well, don't tell me you were shocked by that. It's not the fucking point. Okay, he's still waking up.
Right.
But the point is that there is still such infestation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then this attorney says, so you don't want it, you don't want a solution. I said, no, I came here with good intention, looking for that, but I'm not going to give you a date or sign anything because I have to talk to legal aid. By the way, sidebar, Leon, okay, legal aid dropped me, okay, because of the martial law thing. They won't say it, but I know in my gut that's why they dropped me. Okay, nobody wants to deal with me, so I'm gonna have to go back in there. So anyway, I go back to court, okay, and I have a different judge, and this MFer is sitting in his thing, and he's not going to budge. He's not going to budge. It took I really united with my higher self and the ET soul family and everything. So I felt real calm about it. And you know what? I could have come out strong and said, hey, listen, but at the same time, he gave me till December 5th to come back for an actual court date. So then I sort of had to discern, okay, is that the date relax, we're working it out. Okay.
Relax.
Or do I come back? Hey, listen, you a-hole. Okay. This is what I know. All right. So I listened to it because I just felt like that was the right thing to do. Now I got to go back on the effing 5th. Okay. And face off with this pie face a-hole. Excuse me. But I mean, now I got to bring everything. And so I said to him, and my last words to him when we were in mediation is I said, see, you're trying to push me into an effing firm date. I'm not giving you a firm date. You're never effing getting my signature. And just so you know, you take me to court, I know for a fact you're going after my man. That is not me. I won't walk through the gate. I will lay everything out in front of the judge. You understand what I'm telling you? And then with that, you're out of the Zoom, bitch. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm pretty,
ground.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being super authentic. It just really, like Susie,
That's exactly what you're doing, Cheryl, is exactly what you've got to do. Don't take no shit. Don't worry about swearing here and there. It's swearing times. We've got to use our language to make ourselves understood.
Yeah.
Don't take no shit from them. Don't take no shit. Push back. What you're doing is perfect, because December the 5th, you'll get a court date for like February, March or whatever. That's way too late. Don't worry about that.
No, this court date, Leon, is to evict me. This is what they were threatening me about mediation. They actually said to me, the reason we do mediation for the courts is because the judges are real busy, and they don't want to make the decisions on these kind of evictions and moral laws. I said, what I just said to him, what bullshit,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but it's all about protecting each other, just
Yep.
like you and Christian always taught us. They're all freaking holding
Covering
hands.
us. They're
Yeah.
covering
Yes.
each other's ass.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single one. So,
Yeah.
you know, it agitates me that I even have to go back in. You know, I'm like, but I probably will if we're still in it. But it makes me nervous because these efforts that the judge told me, the judge said, well, you know, what's going to happen is we can send, you know, they send out not the marshals, but the
Yeah.
whatever,
Sheriff
the
or whatever.
sheriffs.
Yeah.
And then they stand there while they lock you out. They keep all your shit, you know, and all this kind of crap. And so that's what I'm really nervous about, because I'm not leaving this freaking spot because Christian told me to stay here. Okay.
Yeah,
Mother
I know.
told me to stay
I don't
here.
know enough about your area, but I know in England there'd be a fucking serious problem if they thought any bailiff was doing that. But I know in Australia, I know some people that have had a lot of hassle in there with land and getting evicted, and they're very forceful in Australia, maybe where you are in America. It's not like that everywhere, but you are doing what you're doing is perfectly right. Stand your ground, stand up to them, just push back. If they send you a bill, turn it into a promissory note, send it back with the reason why it's valid payment, and just play their silly game until we dance out of this. We're dancing out of here soon. So December the 5th, fucking January. Well, I don't know when New Year's Eve is, but you know, if we hit New Year's Day, that'd be a piss take. That'd be a piss take. You know what I mean? So I'm very confident that I can be confident as whatever. It don't make no difference. I'm always wrong. I'm normally wrong about most things anyway. But with what's going on in the media, what's going on in everyone's lives. I mean, in England, they've said that they're putting the asylum seekers into military bases. You don't put fucking. I worked on the military base, Colchester. This town has got a 13 billion pound military base, and it was built about 10 years ago. I worked on it for 5 years. You don't put, like, when we were building it, when there was no military base, it was holes in the ground and they're putting footings in. You had to go through all this security, all this crazy shit just to go and lay bricks. Now, when it's a military base, 10 years after it's opened, they expect the public to believe they're going to put asylum seekers in an extremely sensitive government facility.
Yeah.
What? A load of Afghanistani asylum seekers. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's a heads up. This is going off soon.
Yes.
I heard another one today, this morning. Someone else told me another area in England. There's another couple of thousand asylum seekers going into another military base. This is all heads up for the awake us lot. That because you don't put foreign refugees in a military base, do you? Unless they're military. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's our heads up that this is going off soon. We ain't got long to wait. We've just got to tread water for another month, maybe two.
Yeah.
And this is gone. So whatever grief you've got right now, just fucking push back. If they're giving you February court dates, don't worry about it. January, if they're giving you mid-January court dates, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just go on the 5th, push back, say, no, I'm not having it. Yeah, with whatever you've got to offer, and you seem like you know what you're talking about anyway, and you ain't taking no shit from no idiots. So just carry on doing what you're doing, is my advice.
Yeah.
Because now it's going to work.
Okay.
That's
Thank
what
you,
I do.
Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Cheryl.
You got to go in and do the
just tell him how it
with
is.
the Masonic guy.
Every match
The
that
low-level
comes on
minion.
and pushes back is another match, another illumination to the darkness. You know, everyone that wakes up, works out, and starts actually doing something about it. It's another punch. It's another punch. You know, every single person that pushes back, every single promissory note, every single letter right now matters. And hopefully we won't have to go through this much longer. Because it's fucking annoying. When people are losing their homes, it's like, you fucking dirty bastards. And and we know it's all fraud. It's not like we think it might be. We fucking know it is. We know we're getting raped and stitched up.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, you can't keep doing this for, you know. God.
No,
Come
it's a lot. It's a lot because you get in there and you got this judge telling, you know, and they're just looking at you, and he's talking to me. He knows the whole story from the attorney, right? He was telling me stuff he shouldn't have even known, you know, like from the attorney prior to that. And so it just proves how connected they all are. You know, I'm just naturally nervous. I mean, I have soul trust. I do. The ETs know that. But I got to tell you, it makes me really nervous. I got the 3 children coming, and there's a lot of stuff happening. And I just,
It's meant to make you nervous. It's meant to.
yeah, no.
You're meant to. Everyone's got to feel the pinch.
Yeah.
And a lot of NPCs, obviously, the non-awake, the sleepers and sheep, they're going to feel it a billionfold. We're just being inconvenienced, basically. We've just got inconvenienced.
When the stock market crashes and there's nothing there.
Yeah. Leon, thank you so much, honey. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us souls. We love you so much, honey.
Oh, I love you too, darling. I love everyone. Everyone who's resonating. What could be better? There's nothing better.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. Doing this is a pleasure. I love you too, mate.
Yeah. Love you,
Cheers,
Cheryl.
Thanks, guys. I love you too.
Okay. Bye. And we got Jenny 99.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Nervous as hell.
Nervous? What's going on?
Well, I think I've been picking up Cheryl's energy. I was at the end of the last one with you, Leon. I was feeling really strong and resolved. And
what's happened?
Well, no, it just hearing Cheryl's story, it's got me. I've gone wobbly with it. Don't worry, Cheryl. I've now got this letter I was mentioning before, and I seem to income tax in Canada. I seem to remember that there needs to be a dollar figure on the piece of on the letter. Now the letter's got a window and it's got a franking thing. That is not internal, is it?
That's internal mail, yeah.
That is internal.
So that's not lawful post anyway. But I'd open it if it's to do with your mortgage or whatever. Open it. Don't ignore it.
No, it's open.
Okay.
It's to do with income tax.
Yep.
CRA, Canada Revenue Agency.
Yes. If I may, I'd like to read the letter because it doesn't have a dollar figure, and I'm gathering with the promissory note. I've got to get them to have a figure that then.
Well, like I was just saying to Tammy, I think was it just now. You can write a promissory note on a piece of toilet paper if you wanted to. It's still valid. It's better to do it on real paper. You don't. It's easier. The whole thing is easier if you get them to write to you in the post with a final settlement and you turn that into a promissory note. It's nice and easy then because all the information is contained in what they've given you. Yeah. But to write a promissory note and get it paid separately would be slightly different, and you'd need to do an accompanying letter that explained what the promissory note's for, why it's lawful, why you're using it, whatever. Yeah, just explain it. But so, sorry, what was your problem? Where are you?
I don't want it to be my problem.
She's in Canada.
I'm in Canada. The letter I've received, it does not have a dollar amount. So what I need is your assistance in how to angle for a final amount. And I would very much like to read you this letter so that you could assist me, and I feel all confident again.
Yeah.
Okay,
can I ask you one question first?
Yes.
Do you know what you already owe them? Do you know yourself?
Yes and no. So at 7 o'clock one morning, I got a phone call from an agent from the CRA. I was still in bed. And during that conversation, I did ask verbally what I owed. And so where I went with that was sort of saying it was illegal, la-di-da-di-da. And she was saying that if you ever have any more questions, you can just call me. And I said, no, there won't be any more phone calls. Everything will have to be in writing.
Yeah.
She got a bit pissed off, and I did mention Norman Traversy and the Quo Warranto and Mary Simon, but that might have been a little bit of shooting myself in the foot.
No, not
They're
necessarily.
all trained on a certain sort of script, right? They do the thing. You gotta confirm that your postal code. You gotta confirm your phone. You gotta confirm the joinder. They're just like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you
that
gotta confirm
happened.
everything.
Gary, that happened in the phone conversation, and I
Yeah.
made it very clear we would not be having any more phone conversations, that if anybody from the CRA called me, I would hang up.
Yeah, I'm not answering any questions. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but now I'd like to read the letter. So I owe about 2.5 years of back income tax. I stopped when Mr. Trudeau started giving our tax money to support Ukraine.
Yep.
So our records show we've not received your income tax and benefit returns for the above years. We're writing to tell you that according to subsection 150/2 of the Income Tax Act, you must file your returns by November the 28th.
Yeah.
When we had the phone conversation, I said, that's not enough time. It has to be at least 60 days. And I stuck with the 60 days, and she didn't waver on it, but I said, that's not enough time. Anyway, along we go. So the woman, I'm the officer assigned to your case. If you've already filed your returns but not received notice of assessment or cannot do the returns by the requested date and need help, you can call me. And I said, that won't be happening. Yeah. If we do not receive your returns, we may assess your tax payable based on the information we have, or serve you with a notice of requirement to file your returns. A notice of requirement to file is a legal notice under subsection 2312/1 of the Income Tax Act. As well, we will charge you interest and a late filing penalty starting the day after each original.
The Income Tax Act. I would. What you want to have a look? When the Income Tax Act, when was that brought out? That was probably 70s or 80s or something.
Okay.
You see, because they're the crown, Canada is crown, so it's the same queen. The same oaths are broken. So so in England we've got the Coronation Oath Act, the Bill of Rights, the Act of Settlement, the Treason Act, the Fraud Act. We got like superior statutes, they're called. We've got like 8 or 9 acts that are original from the Magna Carta way back in the day, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. They're what all English law comes from, and that's what all American law comes from. But when it goes over to America, it translates into UCCs and different, and then obviously Canada. But anywhere the crown is, right? So whatever act that you've just said there is probably null and void. So I would start the letter off with, well, whatever, what do they want you for? Income tax. That's fraudulent. So I don't know how that would pan out so much in Canada, but it's going to be very, very similar to the United Kingdom. So the letter's going to be pretty similar. So the
last little bit says, make sure you include income from all sources such as employment, rentals, investments. So I don't have anything. Nothing's changed in those last years. They have all whatever tax slips they might have. They have pension information and that sort of thing. Nothing has changed. But what I'd like is just a sentence or something as, how do I get them to send me a reply that has the amount she told me verbally, so that I can then say, well, I'll turn that around. It's a problem, like you told us.
You can do that another way. You don't have to do that way. So you can just take the amount she gave you verbally, whatever that may be, and then write a promissory note based on that amount, and then explain in the cover letter, our conversation 2 months ago, last year, yesterday, the amount, please find enclosed a promissory note for the amount. As you will be aware, as of the bill of exchange or whatever it is in Canada, you'll have a bill of exchange, or you could use, probably because it's the crown, you can use a bill of exchange in England, probably, to be honest, because it's the crown. You might need your UCC or whatever it is. There might be an act or that stipulates it. I'm just thinking off the bat. But please find enclosed. Say you owed them £5,000. Say, please find enclosed a promissory note for the value of $6,000 Canadian dollars, which is 1,000 extra. Please accept the extra 1,000 as my apologies for late payment. Now send me a receipt within 14 days, and don't put a negative entry on my credit file because I've paid. And then explain Lord Denning. I can go through with you through this if you want to call if you want.
I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, I can do that, mate, honestly.
Yeah.
But you don't, it's just much easier if you get a final settlement figure, but you can just go and write a promissory note. You can do that, but you need to explain it. You wouldn't go and buy your shopping with one, but you can pay any bill with one. But you need to explain how and why to make your life easier. If you want loads of aggro, don't just send them a promissory note. But if you want an easy life, well, explain it, why it's legal, how it works, why they've got to accept it, and why they can't do anything about not accepting it.
Okay, that's the way I wish to go. And the extra 1,000, I think, is brilliant. And I would love to call you. I have a calling card, so none of this WhatsApp or anything. But maybe I can get some information from Kirsten as to what number I should call and the best time.
Yep. I'm just writing your name down now so I don't forget.
Yeah.
Jenny 99.
I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
No
Leon.
worries, Jenny. No
Bless
worries,
you.
mate. Nice one. No worries. I'll definitely help you. We'll get a letter off to them, and then you can just pay whatever that is. And by the next time, we'll be out of this. We'll be in scare events by the 5th of December, early January, very early January. We'll be having a nightmare. So they ain't going to worry about fucking money then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
Nice one.
All right, Jenny. Thank you. It's good to see you. Okay, Leo. Let's see, has done mute. There we go. Did I get that?
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we got you, Leo. How are you?
You got me, have you? Great.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Leon.
Hello.
Yeah, great show. Great show. I just think it's so interesting. All I wanted to ask basically is the mortgage company keeps sending me letters, but they've actually got the wrong address on there. So I basically send it back because if it was a genuine mortgage, they would have my correct address, which is on the deeds. So just keep sending them back and playing their game.
How different is the address? Is it very different?
No, not very different. It's just a couple of words spelt differently, but yeah. If it was if on the deeds, it wouldn't be spelt like that. Just the name of the house.
Like I say, you could send a promissory note monthly for your regular payment.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I said to people in the past, if you miss a payment on purpose, and they'll send you a letter saying, "Look, you owe us this," and use that as a promissory note. That's the easiest way out of it. And then that just buys loads of time. Ultimately, it would work because they can't take you to court. But right now, like I say to people, with what's going on at the moment and where we are in the grand or the Great Awakening, I think, well, obviously the White Hats want people to push back. They don't want people. They want as many people pushing back as possible. But obviously, lots of people are reluctant because of a lack of knowledge, isn't it? Obviously the resonating army on here, everyone on here knows what's going on. Everyone knows what's happening with the finance media.
Well, pushing back against the system, right? It's fear right away.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a bad credit rating and all this other shit.
Yeah, we're going to take your house. We're going to repossess you. Yeah, that's all that.
They hit you with all that, and that makes people, scared right away.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. When I go into hospital, I had to go into hospital the other day. My mate's daughter had appendicitis, and but if I tell you what, if I'm going into anything like that, police station, hospital, wherever, I'm talking about everything. And the people that I went with weren't really keen on me talking about anything. They didn't want to be embarrassed because they think I'm off my nut. Right? But I talked to all. So when my mum went in hospital about 6 months ago for she had a heart problem, but she had to go in hospital for a few days. And I started talking to the nurse. I said, "I'm not leaving you until I know you're not getting vaccinated." And my mum's like, "Because she ain't going to have no vaccines." But I said, "Well, listen, I'll talk." So I talked to the nurse and I started talking. It was about 40 minutes. And while we was waiting, well, no, it wasn't 40. It was about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And she looked at me when I started talking. I said, you're not offering vaccines. This was 8 months ago. I said, you're not offering vaccines still, are you? And she went, no, why? And I said, well, and we went into the empty offices, Satanism, the red shoes, this, that, the other, MMR shots, thimerosal, everything. And she afterwards, she said, my Leon, because she asked me name, she said, she looked at the floor, she said, my Leon, that's a lot of information for a Sunday morning. I said, yeah, it's a lot of information. And she didn't know what to say. She looked at me, and I could see by everything about her, she so got it. She knew there was empty office space. She knew they know.
Yeah.
It's a very
Absolutely.
strange situation right now because they all know, but no one's discussing it. Only with their best mate at work, whether that's the police or media or fight, everyone in a position of in control of something. All of the low minions, they're all like, something's going on because there's no one come. In Colchester, we used to have rush hour. Rush hour would be 4 hours. Now it's an hour. Where's
Yeah.
everyone gone? Where is everyone? There's
Yeah.
no rush hour now like it used to be. Well, everyone moved out, did they? No, something's happened, mate. There's a lot of people been taken off the streets. In whatever capacity, I've noticed it for the last year. We've got a lot less cars in Colchester. And I've been here for like 40 years. There's a lot less police cars, I know that for sure. But general public, rush hour's not like it used to be. It's an hour. It
I
used to
agree.
be 4 hours.
Yeah.
Rush hour was a nightmare.
It was a
And now
nightmare.
it ain't.
There were hours on it, as you say, stuck in that. But I've
I think
noticed it in
that's all the
supermarkets
top
as well.
tiers of the council, the judiciary, in everyone's area. I wouldn't mind betting that everyone's got a lot less cars because when you're taking all of these people out of society, it's going to reduce rush hour for a start, isn't it? It's going to reduce restaurant
Right.
queue. Yeah, you've got a lot of people being taken out all within a couple of years.
Yeah.
And people say, "Where's your proof?" Well, I see that when I go to the train station at 5 in the evening. That wouldn't be possible to do that within 40 minutes normally, or even in half an hour. It would not be possible because it's only like 3 miles away. But at 5 in the afternoon, you got no chance. Till 7, you ain't moving. Yeah, it's not like that for the last year or two.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have noticed that. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, it is happening. It is happening. It's going to come. It's on its way. So, and I agree. People have got to start to push back. I mean, my family said, "Why are you bothering?" And I said, "Because it's not right. It's not right. They've done that, and you can either put up with it or it's just not right."
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
No.
that's all I wanted to ask because I'm just playing the game with them. But yeah.
Don't be afraid to push back and carry on playing the game.
Yeah.
Make it hard for them.
I'll try.
Make it so they don't want to contact you again.
Well, it's
Oh
like
no!
with the-
Look, there's Cleo. Oh God, Cleo P. Oh, we don't want to talk to her. Put her at the back of the pile. Give her till next month. Talk to her again next month. Yeah.
keep asking them to send me a redemption statement. They keep saying it's in the post. This has been like 6 months now, and they say, "Well, you can get it online. You can do it online, but of course, when it's online."
Because they know that if they put it in the post, there's potentially a dangerous situation for them.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're trying to push you online. They're always trying to no.
Yeah, everything online, isn't it? Because there's no legal basis of it. But
I was talking to my mate today because there's a couple of places in Colchester where you can't pay cash. There's a restaurant chain called Bill's, and it's all over southern England. Well, there's a few, but pardon me, I've just eaten a kebab. Sorry, I've been in there a few times and I've not had my card, and they only take card. And luckily, it's only been for a coffee with me and my mum a couple of times. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm so sorry I forgot again. I went back to pay. It was like £7 about an hour later because I like the people in there and I go there. And they couldn't take the money. She couldn't take it. I'm like, yeah, but here's the money that I owe you. They had to let me off because I'm like, the reason I was there is because my mum's bank got scammed and she was going to pick up a new card or going to report fraud. That's why we were there. So she didn't have her card either. And she said, well, we only take card. And I'm like, well, I'm really sorry. We're here to get a new card. I've only got cash. I said, there's the cash. She said, I can't take it. I said, well, take it home. You pay on your card and pay it in the till, whatever. Just there. But she couldn't do it. But if you don't take legal tender in any country, if you're paying with legal tender and they don't accept it, you get that for nothing. That's the law. You don't take if you're selling me a Lamborghini and I turn up with cash, I'm taking the Lamborghini because it's legal tender. You know what I mean? So it's bizarre that they're going down this. Yeah, it's bizarre that anyone's putting up with it. Why aren't people more interested in their own life and their own children's lives? Why are they just muppets? It drives me up the wall. People need to push back. When you go in a shop and they say to me, I weren't rude to the woman. I was very polite because I like them. I like them. I've been going there for years. And I said, look, I'm so sorry. It's a bit embarrassing. I said, but this is all we've got. I said, but I'll go and, we'll sort it out. But she said, no, it's okay. She said, I'll write it off. And if it happened again, she said, I'll write it off this time. But it happened again about 3 months later. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Because most places take cash, most. But there's lots of places in England that don't. They just don't. I say lots. There's not lots. There's some. But they're going to come right unstuck in a minute because they won't be able to operate.
I had this experience about a couple of years ago. I went into a lovely little sort of like village and my mum wanted to see this place. It's very old. And I went into this Cornish pasty place. She always wanted a Cornish pasty. She comes from Germany. So anyway, took her in there and they do these massive Cornish pasties, lovely. So they were £10 for 2 pasties and I handed over the £10 note. And the woman said, sorry, we don't take cash. And I said, sorry? I said, well, it's legal tender. And she said, sorry, it's only card. We don't take cash. I said, so you don't want my money? And she said, no. And I literally walked out with no pasty because she wouldn't have them over. And I just thought, how bizarre.
Bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. I just thought, well,
surreal, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. But it's great. It's all great.
Nice one.
It's
Brilliant.
so
Big
I
Leo.
found you guys, and it was Christian saying last Christmas, Missmas, and I thought, oh, I think I might call it Missmas. I said,
Merry Missmas.
Because I hate Christmas, and I said Missmas, yes.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
Thanks for
no, that was
remembering
fun. We had a good Zoom.
that was
Just
great.
like, yeah, wow, I got to listen to this person. Anyway, all
We
the
did a
best
Merry
to you.
Missmas Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's brilliant. Anyway, just keep on doing it. Keep on doing what
Nice
you
one,
do.
Cleo.
Great stuff. Oh,
Thank
nice
you,
to chat to you.
Cleo.
Big
All
love,
the
darling.
best. Bye, Kirsten.
Nice
Bye.
one.
Bye.
Barbara.
Sorry, I'm getting phone calls for my birthday tomorrow, so that's why I had to run.
Hey.
Just so everyone knows.
No problem.
Well, before I start, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, Barbara.
Yes.
Hi, Leon. Thank you
Hello,
very
mate.
much. Thank you very much for all you do. And thank you all for putting, Kirsten, Gary, all of you for putting this together. So valuable. Leon, this statement, we have 2 identities. That's the key. We, the people, need to understand.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Who said that? But I do agree with it. Yeah.
I saw it. I can't remember. I saw it and I posted it to my notes, and I came across it.
Yeah. You've got your straw man, and you've got your sovereign. You got who you really are, and you've got your facsimile copy. So we are basically 2 identities.
Yeah, you're legal and you're living being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this promissory note, you sign it as legal fiction. No. No.
Equitable beneficiary, named estate title holder, not the trustee in brackets.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sign it as the.
Yeah, you're not signing it as a straw man. You're signing it as the person that owns it. You're signing it as the beneficiary of the entire account. So you're the named estate title holder, equitable beneficiary. So you're the person that owns it all. You're signing it as the person that owns everything in that trust.
So you use your name with the syntax and the everything else.
No, you don't need to do that. You can just sign it. You can print your name, not in block capitals, but you can write capital B, lowercase a r b a r a, Barbara, whatever. Yeah. and then sign it in your normal signature. You don't need to put your parse in. You don't need to put parse grammar on it. Your compound fact name. You don't need to do that. Yeah, print with, you know, upper and lowercase as you would normally, or all lowercase if you want, but not all uppercase. Yeah, all lowercase or upper and lower, but not all upper. And just let them know that you are, yeah, it's your trust, it's your bond. You are the equitable beneficiary. It's your money, and this is what, yeah. And then put in brackets, not the trustee, because the trustee can't do stuff like that. But that, you know, if you put that on there, this works, and this is where we've had results with receipts from this wording. So it definitely works. It's definitely the way forward is that wording. So you normally you'd put this bill offer is accepted for the GBP amount shown here, and then put a line going to the money where they say you owe like 10 grand or whatever.
Yeah, understood all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you define trustee?
Someone in person entrusted with facilitating. So if you had a trust, the grantor is the person that you're setting the trust up for. Well, the grantor is the person that's funding the trust. The beneficiary would be like the person that's the ultimate. Like if you're the equitable beneficiary of a government trust, you're the person it's your trust. It's your money. You know, if you're the trustee, you are working on behalf of someone else with that money.
Okay.
So if you let them know that you are the person who that trust, that the trust that it's coming out of, and if you're getting a bill, then it'll have a barcode. These days, it always has a barcode or a QR label. They've got all the information about your trust on that bill or that statement or that presentment. They've got all the info. So when you let them know that the person writing that now, who's created the promissory note, is the equitable beneficiary, that's you who owns the trust. They can't go any higher than that. That's you. That's your money. You get me?
Okay. And my second question was about the template for the covering letter for the promising note. Now, you said you were going to post that, and I'm very much
it's not
looking
really a
forward
template
to
because I wanted templates in common law when I got into this, and there ain't none. And the reason, and I couldn't understand it, I couldn't get it for ages. It took me a year to work that out, but there ain't none because even 2 speeding tickets are different wording. You know, it's going to be a different thing every single time. But there are things that you can keep in, like the promissory note, very important. Halsbury's law on administrative courts. In England, that's important because it takes another weapon away from them, because their next thing would be, well, we'll just get the bailiffs to come round. But when you've told them and put them on notice that the bailiffs are unlawful and acting as third-party interlopers from an administrative court, see Halsbury's law, be the case of Catherine Cookson and whatever, then they can't do that. It takes a weapon out their hand.
Yeah, no, I think that's what we're all waiting for, is that information to accompany the note. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, right. Oh, yeah. To be honest, there's several people waiting for that. But you'll see when I post it, it's nothing special. It's just several things, and then what you need to do is just fill in the gaps with your own issue in that text. Yeah.
Right.
So I'll write it very generic,
broadly. Yeah.
And then it'll be in a Word document, and then just change it. Just change it to fit keep the main text, and then change all the, puff it out with what your issue is, because that's where all the guts of it will be. It'll be about who you borrowed it from, where the money's going to, or how long it's been, or how old you were. It'll be something like that, and that's all the personal information that's not able to be put in a template, if you get me.
Christian, if you just
template was the
Leon,
wrong
if you
word.
just want to send it to my WhatsApp, and then I'll put it out on the channel.
That's a brilliant idea. I'll do that.
Christian Sinclair.
Thank you.
Christian Sinclair. Yeah.
No, that's great. I'm anxiously awaiting for that, so I can do pushback too.
Oh yes, definitely. We got to do that. Listen, I'll do that. I might do it tonight. Oh, it's 10:30 now.
Lovely.
Maybe tomorrow morning. But I've still got a bit of backlog of stuff going on from yesterday because I didn't get what I was hoping to get done yesterday.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that.
No,
thank you all.
Lovely to speak to you, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah. Thanks, Barbara. Great to see you. Let's see some react emojis for Leon here.
Yes, thank you very much, Leon. Thanks for being here for everyone.
I fucking love you guys to bits, mate. Honestly.
There we go.
Well, we fucking love you
coming
too,
in.
so you know.
Yeah.
Look, you're getting lots of hearts there, buddy.
Look at that.
Oh, bless you. Honestly, one big family.
Yes, we are. All right, thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's-
everybody for being here. We love you lots.
We love our
and
Leon.
thank you so much, Leon.
Yeah, it was good. I hope
Hope everybody
No
got
worries.
everything
My
they
pleasure.
needed.
Anytime. If you want to do
Yeah.
another one,
Yeah.
if you want to do another one, just let me know and we'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, that worked out good.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Love you guys.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Thanks, Leon.
Okay,
Love you
bye,
guys.
everyone.
Hasta luego.